makes the catch.
Oh, he's gonna keep going. He's gonna go. Touchdown.
You got a catch. Oh,
intercepted. 50. Clayton Chun. Wearing number 55, junior Taylor Walker. Another lineman on the wall, wearing number 65, senior Peter Harper. Wearing number 67, the offensive lineman, you know him, Connor Smith. Wearing the number 70, senior Colton Rigby. Another lineman rotating in, number 73, Sayoli Abbott. Wearing number 75, you read about him in the paper, he's offensive lineman Alan Ginger. The other offensive lineman rotating in, we call him just one name, wearing number 76, Fui Kalaniapala. The ball handlers, wearing number 44, James Morgan.
Position for Spanish Fork, who's a big back, who has some power, and is going to probably cause some havoc for defenses this year.
That's absolutely correct, and they run the ball, at least they did last year. Historically, they ran the ball a lot out of the spread, and I mean, for example, against Maple Mountain last year, they had over 400 yards rushing.
And so an opportunity here. We're going to see this Spanish Fork offense right off the bat. They won the toss. They wanted the football, and a chance here for new quarterback Nate Kiesel to go to work and have an opportunity to maybe get a quick 7 on the board. Mountain View coached by former Timpview coach Louis Wong, a name that maybe a lot of Spanish Fork fans don't know because of the time when he was the coach at Timpview. The Thunderbirds were still down, were in 4A. Spanish Fork, though, was down in 3A, so an opportunity here for Louis Wong trying to rebuild this Mountain View program. They went 2-8 last year, and the Bruins looking to just try to continue that improvement. We're going to see 2 quarterbacks tonight for the Mountain View Bruins.
Yeah, it's going to be Morgan Martin and Sam Magley playing quarterback for Mountain View. They're going to switch it up, but man, they've got a heck of a head coach as Louis Wong won 4 straight titles at Timpview. He's trying to turn around this Mountain View program who's struggled a lot. I believe last year was his first losing season as a coach ever as they went 2-8.
And so an opportunity here to get everything started tonight, going throughout the entire state tonight. This high school football season has started. Maple Mountain at home. They got the Woods Cross Wildcats, a team in which we saw last year end their season. We'll get kind of some updates throughout Maple Mountain in that game as we go throughout the night as well. But we're about set, ready to go for football here at Mountain View. The national anthem is done. We're set, ready to go. Mountain View is going to be wearing red tops with red pants with kind of a yellow and black numbers. Spanish Fork is going to be wearing the white tops and the white pants with the red numbers with the silver helmets. And an opportunity here. We're moments away from kickoff here. Going back deep for Spanish Fork, number 18, Tyrese Williams. And also back there, trying to get a number on who that second return man is. Looks like...
Is it Lota Solela, number 14?
Yeah, it looks like they're back deep to receive. Putting a foot into it for Mountain View is going to be Terrell Garfield. We're set, ready to go, and the kick is underway, and it's going to go into the end zone, and it will be a touchback here to open up this ball game here, and we are just about set, ready to go.
Yeah, beautiful kick there. Spanish will get the ball at the 20, and this will be their first chance on offense here to see what they can do. It'll be our first opportunity to see how Kiesel runs this offense.
So an opportunity here. Nate Kiesel will get the start at quarterback. He's watching some highlights from his year last year. A great arm, but you got to watch out for maybe an option look here as he'll be from shotgun on 1st and 10. Lofa Funa, the back to his right with 3 wide receivers. Kiesel set from shotgun, takes the snap. He's going to throw the first play of the game, throws an out pass. That's complete to Isaac Pendleton, who's going to get out to around, it looks like about the, almost, I think they're going to give him the 30-yard line. That's going to be good enough for a first down.
And he just ran a little 7-yard hitch there, just enough to catch that ball, get a few yards upfield, and they pick up a first down. That's a perfect way you want to start your football season out. And Mountain View was laying off on the coverage. They're playing the old BYU 10 yards off.
And that makes it a first down for the Dons.
So an opportunity here. First down for Spanish Fork. The Dons on the 30-yard line, and they're ready to go once again. Kiesel will be from shotgun. Funa the single back, going again with the 3 wide receivers. Ready to go. They're going to be the give right up the middle. Funa lowers his head, gets in the middle. He's going to pick up around 3 out to around the 33-yard line, bringing up a 2nd and 7 for the Dons.
And he met Colton Rigby from Mountain View head on, and that was quite the collision. He did good just to pick up a few yards there. I wonder if Spanish Fork can exploit number 25, Michael Young, the corner out there. He looks pretty short compared to the Dons receivers.
So shotgun set here on the 2nd and 7. Ball in the 33. Funa goes in motion. Kiesel from the shotgun. Ready to go. Takes the snap. Fakes it. He's going to keep it right up the middle. Gets outside of the 35. Out across the 40. First down Spanish Fork. And he's going to be knocked out of bounds on the Spanish Fork sideline. That's going to be a first down for the Dons. Their 2nd first down of the night. Spanish Fork's going. We have some whistles being blown here. And I think we might have our first penalty. No, there's going to be a sideline warning, it looks like, given here. It looks like they signaled to the Mountain View sideline to get back a little bit, but it looks like it is a sideline warning against Spanish Fork.
Against Spanish Fork, I was going to say Mountain View doesn't have enough people to have a sideline warning. They are very thin in numbers on their sideline.
Michael Young, number 25, also had a hand in pushing the runner out of bounds. First and 10.
We'll see if Kiesel keeps it here again or if he'll hand off.
So Kiesel right up the middle again, and this time he maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, as maybe they're going to give him about a yard to the 48-yard line. So Kiesel on the carry.
Yeah, Morgan Martin did a good job of containing Kiesel that time in the defense and stayed at home, and that's what prevented Kiesel from getting outside and getting upfield to get some yards.
So able to get, it looks like, 1 yard on the carry, and now that's going to set up here for Spanish Fork on the 48-yard line. Ready to go again from shotgun is Kiesel. He's going to take the snap. He's going to throw, and that one's in and out of the hands of Salali, and that's going to bring up a 2nd down. And we have a penalty marker on the far sideline. It looked like one of the receivers for Spanish Fork kind of jumped, and we'll get the first penalty here of the 2015 season. It looks like they're signaling a legal procedure against Spanish Fork.
That usually means they lined up in the wrong position because they didn't blow the play dead. So somebody must have been not enough guys on the line or something like that. We'll see if they take it or if they're going to go ahead and let the play stand.
Because if they let the play stand, it's going to be 3rd and 9 coming up here and it looks like Mountain View is going to let the play stand here, and they're going to decline that penalty.
You know, here in high school football and the way the Mountain View plays, I think Spanish Fork's definitely in 4-down territory. You might want to think about picking up 4 or 5 yards here if you're Coach Smith, and then trying to get the rest on 4th.
And so now an interesting situation coming up here, as it's going to be a 3rd and 9 looking for the first down. Kiesel will look over to the sideline here, now come ready to go. Kiesel drops back to pass, has some time, looks over the middle, going down the middle, in and out of the hands of number 5. That's Braden Christensen. And now it's going to bring up a 4th down, and Spanish Fork will have to punt for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and Braden Christensen's going to have nightmares tonight. That hit him right in the hands, and when it goes through your hands like that, it's got to be tough to head back to the sideline. As we have Stanton coming out to punt, the sophomore number 12 for the Dons.
So it's going to be Stanton, number 12, set to punt, standing at his own 38. Kind of the rugby-style punt, puts a foot into it, a nice end-over-end kick. Fair catch called for at about the 13-yard line, and it was number 1, Malagali Sam, calling for the fair catch. And we're going to see the Mountain View Bruins for the first time tonight. The question is, Morgan Martin, or is it going to be Malagali Sam?
And I think if you're the Dons, it really doesn't matter. I think you just got to stay in your defense here. Just do what your coaches have taught you and just play defense, and they'll be fine.
So ready to go here. In fact, the ball is actually on the 14-yard line here.
Looks like Sam's coming out to play quarterback. Magali Sam, number 1.
So the Bruins break huddle. They're going to run a similar offense, a spread kind of a look tonight, as the Bruins have their first offensive possession of the ball game. Sam's going to pull and takes it out to the right, being pressured away. He's now forced down, and he's going to go down back inside the 10 at about the, I want to say that's going to be about the 5-yard line. Jax Tobiasen got the sack.
Jax Tobiasen, I watched him play basketball. That guy won the genetic lottery. He is a monster. He's 6'8", and he's got a huge frame, and he gets his first sack of the season.
So now bringing up a big 2nd and 19 here back from the 5-yard line. So a passing situation here for Mountain View. Set, ready to go from shotgun, and they're going to give it right up the middle. Sam's going to keep it on the option. Gets outside, and he's going to get a couple out around, it looks like, to the 8 or 9 yard line. So a pickup of 4 makes it about a 3rd and about 14, but a big passing situation here early on, not what head coach Lewis Wong wanted if you're the Mountain View Bruins.
Yeah, and Sam has not looked comfortable at all in the pocket there as they went with 2 passes, and he's just looked for his first read, and he's had no choice but to try and get the ball down and run. So the Dons are doing a great job of beating this Mountain View offensive line.
Officially, it looks like given about a gain of 3 on the play, sets up a 3rd and 15. So right now, if you're the starting kind of safeties here for Spanish Fork, if you're Argyle, you can just kind of drop back here and play at the marker, ready to roll out and throw. Sam pressured from behind, going to look down the sideline, throws it up for grabs, and it's going to go incomplete up over the head there of number 27. That was Emo Api, who was there and just kind of went up for it, and the ball just falls incomplete.
Not a very good series for Mountain View. Got to feel good if you're the Spanish Fork Dons defense. Their offense did a great job of picking up a couple first downs, and they should get the ball in great field position as we have number 3, Tanner Argyle, and then number, I can't see that. They got 2 men deep.
So it's Argyle back deep, along with
the guy that's sideways to us.
Yeah, they're both sideways to us. Putting a foot into it is Sam. He puts a foot into it at the 5. End over end kick, back to return. It looks like is Stanton. He's going to make a couple of men miss. He's going to have good field position for the Dons as Stanton gets to around the 30-yard line. But it looks like there's a penalty marker down on the play there.
Yeah, it's either a hold or a block in the back because the back official threw that flag, and that'll probably move the Dons back to about the 40.
But now you talk about that opportunity here for that penalty, which is going to bring everything back after that 23-yard return. It's going to be a first down, but it's going to move it back about 12 yards, back to about the 42-yard line.
Yeah, but anytime you can start on your opponent's side of the field, that's a victory. Your chances of getting points have increased significantly. Spanish Fork's been content to run this offense with a single back, a tight end, and 3 wide.
Kiesel set from shotgun, gives it up the middle. This is not Funa. This is the backup tailback trying to get outside. Flag comes in, and trying to fight his way there was Williams on the carry. He gets about 2 yards, but this looks like it's going to be another penalty against the Dons.
Yeah, there was definitely some missed assignments on the blocking there for the Dons, and they had to hold. And if you're Williams, you got to get upfield at some point. He ran the whole length of the field nearly.
And this looks like they're gonna get a holding penalty, and that's gonna be another 10 yards here for Spanish Fork, which is tough because now that puts you now back in a 1st and about 20.
Yeah, they're 1st and 20, and the 2 penalties have moved them back 20 yards. They could have had the ball at the 32.
So an opportunity here, 1st and 20. Mountain View kind of stacking the pressure in the box. Kiesel chase from behind, throws it. He's going to get it in and out of the hands. It looks like it was in and out of the hands there of Braden Christensen. As once again, Christensen has the ball hit him right in the hands, but can't come up with it.
Yeah, and that's another big drop by the Dons as they're bobbling the ball there. And the guys are getting open. Kiesel's hitting them. They just need the wide receivers to hang on to the ball. Great pass by Kiesel that time under duress.
We do want to also, oh, sorry, Chris, go ahead.
I was going to say we can see that on the Car Guys instant replay.
We also do want to mention live on Spanish Fork 16 over on Channel 16, Maple Mountain taking on Woods Cross. They played twice last year, Woods Cross winning both of those games, including the one in the state playoffs. Maple Mountain, a lot of people like their chances once again with senior quarterback Jaron Hall. Kiesel being pressured here. He's going to roll away from it. Now going to look downfield. He's going to get the 50 across to the 40-yard line. Still on his feet. Lowers his head. And he's going to come up about maybe a yard and a half short. But a nice run there for Kiesel. Puts him into Mountain View territory at about the 33-yard line.
Yeah, great run. Peter Harper there, number 65 for Mountain View. Eyes were probably as large as they could possibly be, thinking he was going to get a clean hit on Kiesel that time, but Kiesel, being the Houdini artist that he is, gets away and gets upfield and picks up a huge play for the Dons.
So 3rd and 1 with 6:55 to go in the first quarter. Kiesel from shotgun, ready to go once again. 3 receivers for the Dons, 2 to the bottom of your screen. Ready to go right up the middle. Here's Funa lowering his head. He's going to get inside the 25. Fumble, and I think Mountain View's got the football. Bunch of Bruins dove on it, and it is Mountain View football.
And we'll see if they bring back Sam out there as number 20 for Mountain View picks up the fumble. That'd be Ammon Brown, the senior. Looks like Fu was just trying to get some extra yards there and just got stripped there by number 11, McKay Waite, as we can see on the Car Guys instant replay.
It would have been a first down for...
That would have been a first, and would have been in the blue zone. I mean the red zone, depending on what school you cheer for.
But instead, it's going to be a turnover, and now all of a sudden, an opportunity here for Mountain View. Ready to go once again. Right up the middle is Sam. He's going to get out to around. Looks like they're going to give him the 30-yard line. So a nice gain there, pretty close to the marker. It's going to be about 2nd and about 5 coming up.
Yeah, and Mountain View fired off the line. That turnover's created some momentum, and if you're Spanish Fork, you do not want to beat yourselves. And the best way to beat yourself is penalties and turnovers, and they had 2 huge penalties on that last drive, and then they also had that fumble. So early critical mistakes for the Dons here in the first quarter.
Sam went right up the middle there. Good job there by Mountain View trying to get something to go here. 2nd down and 5. Ready to go from shotgun, 4 wide receivers. Sam takes the snap. He's going to be pressured. Now he's going to try to scramble, chase, and going down. It's Mace Funa, the freshman outside linebacker, with the sack.
Man, he's in junior high, and he's the big man on campus at Spanish Fork High as he comes up with his first career sack for the Dons. Great pressure there, and Sam was unable to, and at some point he's got to find a receiver and just try and get rid of it, but the Dons have been harassing him heavily here in the first quarter.
So now it sets up a huge 3rd and 13. Mountain View hasn't been in a lot of passing situations tonight, and when they have, they've been pressured to quickly throw the football away. So
I think they've called passing plays. I think they've only tried to throw it once, though, because they've been there's been a couple of Don's sacks here.
Morgan goes in motion. The give is going to be Sam up the middle. He's going to be wrapped up by, it looks like, 8, maybe 9 of the Dons there on the tackle, as Sam got the ball right up the middle, gets to the 26-yard line, but that's going to bring up 4th down.
And another 3 and out by the Dons defense there. They're doing everything they need to do. They just need the offense to start clicking a little bit here.
And so now they're going to have to punt the football here on 4th down. And just stepping back to punt will be Sam. As back deep to return, it's going to be Stanton and Argyle, it looks like.
For the Dons back to receive, Wade Stanton.
And here's the snap.
Tanner Argyle.
Almost blocked. Tanner Argyle is going to call fair catch at around the 35-yard line. And so still pretty good field position right there. If you're Jordan Smith and Spanish Fork, the Dons are in good field position, have an opportunity, but now it's time to get that offense going.
Yeah, if I were the Dons, I would just keep pounding the ball with Funa. number 47. He did fumble there, but I think sometimes if you just give him another carry and say, hey, hold on to the ball, he's going to be a little more careful. And I think they can just pound the ball on Mountain View tonight. Also, Kiesel's look good throwing the ball, so if you're able to pound the ball, then you can go to the play-action pass.
So an opportunity here from the 36-yard line, 1st down and 10. Spanish Fork with all 4 first downs on the night. Ready to go. Kiesel set from shotgun, 3 wide receivers, steps back to pass with some time. He's going to look deep, going down the sidelines, got a man out there with a foot on it, and the pass is going to be caught along the sidelines. No, they're going to wave it off.
Oh, they're saying he caught it.
Oh, I saw the hands. No,
oh, wow.
The ref on the sidelines.
They got it. That was a huge catch by number 84, Jackson Higginson.
And that's a completion out there.
And that is more yards than I can count, but that was a big pass by Kiesel. He's got a gun on him.
It looked like the ref along the sidelines waved like this, but then the back judge is the one that said he caught it.
Yeah, definitely overruled. And Mountain View ran back like it was incomplete, so I believe they saw the same thing that you did, but then they're moving the chains. So huge pickup by Kiesel as Spanish Fork works to get that momentum back in their favor.
So a huge opportunity now, 1st down and 10 for the Dons. The 3rd time tonight the Dons have been in Mountain View territory, but haven't been able to find a way to produce points yet. Kiesel from the shotgun. He's going to give it right up the middle. He's going to keep it, get outside, and now he's going to be down to the 20. He's going to cut outside of the 15. Can he get a blocker on the corner? Pulled down from behind as it was number 11 coming in.
That's Waite.
Waite making the, but there is a penalty marker. It came in at the end of the play, and it did kind of look like Waite might have maybe got the back of the jersey, but we'll see here what the call is.
It's either a late hit or maybe it was a horse collar that time by Waite. Nope, they're moving the ball back. You know, that's the 3rd or 4th penalty on Spanish Fork tonight. Holy cow. They're keeping the Zebras busy. I think all of them have been pretty legitimate calls as well.
Right now, and that's going to really hurt Spanish Fork. It's going to move it back to the 24-yard line. So now that big run really neglected there by Kiesel as he got down originally down to about the 11-yard line, but then a penalty pulled it back.
That's 1st and 8. The penalty brings it back. He's got his man in the back, and that's Higginson. He just threw it out of the end zone just a little too far. That's probably a good throw to throw that one away. He had nothing there. It was pretty good coverage by Mountain View that time by the free safety in corner.
And so now going that one incomplete there. As you saw, Kiesel just took a shot. Had him out there again. Higginson one-on-one coverage, and Spanish Fork's been able to get their receivers behind on the night, but it just hasn't quite been able to get it to go yet.
Yeah, the 2 corners for Mountain View are Kent Free and Michael Young, and they look like they're not the tallest guys out there. The Dons definitely have the height advantage.
3:37 to go, 1st quarter. Spanish Fork trying to get on the board here early on. 3 receiver set. He's going to give it outside. Here's Funa, and he's going to just rumble down inside the 20 to about the 16-yard line. And so a good Gary there for Funa is going to come about 2 yards shy of a 1st down.
Yeah, one thing's for sure is the Mountain View linebackers are going to be sore tomorrow because Funa does not go down easy, and he likes to hit for a running back, which the downside to hitting is sometimes you fumble.
So just lowering that shoulder. Funa having a very good start outside of the fumble here early on.
Is that Lomax in the backfield?
3rd down and 1 here. As it's going to be the fake to Funa. Here's Kiesel on the carry, and he's going to get down inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal. I'm sorry, you were right. That was Mateen Lomax, number 31, coming in the backfield there.
Yeah, he's just a sophomore. The Dons are playing a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores, a lot of juniors. And, Kiesel's a senior here, but they've got a bright future, and hopefully they have a great season with those young athletes.
So 1st down and goal for the Dons. The first time they've been inside the 10, looking for those first points of the season. As they get ready to go here, it's going to be Devin Argyle in the slot with Higginson out on the sideline. Here's Kiesel being chased from behind. He's going to keep it at the 5. Going to get in. Touchdown, Spanish Fork. Nate Kiesel in. The Dons have their first score of the year.
And great job by Kiesel finding a little crease there and getting that burst of speed and finding that hole and getting 6. Yeah, great run, and he's done a great job of outrunning the containment for Mountain View. Mountain View's got to get a little wider, try and push him inside, but they've been unable to do it, as we can see here on the Car Guys instant replay. And Kiesel's making a case for the MVP player of the game.
James Daw on for the extra point, and that kick is blocked, it looks like, the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And so not the special teams play you want, but Nate Kiesel able to get you on the board here early on.
A 6-0, the Dons will take it. Their defense has been stellar tonight as well, so hopefully they can continue to win the field position battle, and they'll should go back to Spanish Fork with a victory if things hold up.
And so now going to have an opportunity here for the kick with a 6-0 lead. We do want to thank our sponsors for helping make this broadcast possible. We do want to thank the Car Guys for sponsoring our Car Guys instant replay here on Spanish Fork 17, as they help throughout the season make sure that these broadcasts are possible.
I think you can find them at the carguysut.net, if memory serves me correct. And also we have Wilson Insurance with State Farm. Is it Lance Wilson, I believe, with State Farm? And sorry, this is the first game, so we don't have the routine down yet. And also we got the MVP Sports MVP Player of the Game, so you can go check out MVP Sports and get you some new shoes if you need some cleats or whatever down there at MVP Sports. And I believe all of our sponsors are down there on Main Street.
So ready to go once again. It looks like it's going to be James Daw ready to put a foot into it at the 40-yard line. Now we're ready to go. Daw puts his foot into it, a low line drive kick, and a bounce around the 15 and roll. Back around, here's the 5. It's going to be Sam on the return. He's going to get out around the 28-yard line before he's tripped up. And now an opportunity for Mountain View. And we got to see, Chris, here, Mountain View's now trailing in this one, 6-0 with 2:17 to go. See if this kind of maybe fires up that offense a little bit.
I was wondering if they were going to try and go with Martin at some point at quarterback here, but it looks like Sam's coming back. And Sam's been all over the field here. He's the punter, he's the return man, he's the quarterback. What doesn't he do? I wonder if they call him the Swiss Army knife.
So here we go, about ready to go as they get out to the 29. Ready to go. Sam ready to go right up the middle. Gives it on the carry, running right into the middle of the offensive line. Lofa Funa from his linebacker spot, getting right there to make the tackle on number 21, Jake Holland, a senior linebacker.
It was actually Joseph Trujillo, number 77, and number 47. That's Lofa Funa with the hit. Man, and they were bringing it that time. That great defensive line penetration. Usually the linebackers have to come and clean it up, but Spanish Fork with this 3-4 defense, the defensive line is doing a great job of getting some tackles as well. They got Tobias in at defensive end. They've got Trujillo at defensive end, and we'll get you the nose tackle here in a second.
Here it is, outside going down the sideline. Pass is intercepted. Did he hold on? Yes, he did. And Spanish Fork's going to take over at the 48-yard line. So the first time that we see them go down the field, and coming up with it was
Emo Apo.
Coming up with that interception there, and a nice diving play.
Yeah, out of his strong safety position, he reads the quarterback's eyes. Sam's drifting, throws it up in the air, and Apu comes down with it. Great job there by the Spanish Fork. Is once again they'll start with amazing field position near the 50-yard line.
So the first interception and the first turnover now puts the ball in the hands of the Dons with 1:23 to go. Ball on the 49-yard line. Kiesel set from shotgun, going to throw. Pressure comes, steps up, going to step away. Got a man wide open down the sidelines. It's caught. That's going to be a Spanish Fork touchdown.
And that's Isaac Pendleton catching the ball that time.
A 51-yard strike. It's 13-0 or 12-0 Spanish Fork.
PAT pending here. Hopefully Doc can get it up. A great job by Kiesel throwing it deep as Pendleton gets beyond the defense that time. Great job by the Dons.
And so one play, one score, a nice quick one play, 51 yards as we see Isaac Pendleton hit 6. And it's 12-0 here with 1:12 to go. Daw on for his second extra point of the night. First one got blocked. Second one is up. This one looks good, and it is good. And with 1:12 to go in the first quarter, it's Spanish Fork 13 and Mountain View 0. You're watching high school football here on Spanish Fork 17. Ryan Pickens and Chris Hurst here with you. And Chris, a great way, and you've seen the offense now score. You've seen Kiesel on the ground, Kiesel through the air, and the defense make a couple of nice plays.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, the defense has done an amazing job. I don't think Mountain View's picked up a first down tonight. And the defensive line there, the Jerem Jones is the nose tackle, and those defensive ends have been getting amazing penetration in there, and that's just wrecking anything that Mountain View is trying to do here. And the offenses look great, and Kiesel has done a great job of getting away from pressure here, and the line's held up pretty good too.
So an opportunity here after the quick strike to now turn the offense, send that defense back out. And you have to think, if you're Mountain View, that we're going to have to see at some point Morgan Martin take some snaps under center.
Yeah, they haven't done anything under Sam. Sometimes it's good just to change things up. They are anticipating playing two quarterbacks anyways. I think now would be a good time to make a change.
Daw set to put a foot into it, and another low line drive kick. Takes a bounce around the 15, picked up by Sam, out across the 25, going to get outside. That's Trevor Robertson, number 7. He's going to get out across the 48. And sorry, that's number 2. That's Mahanri Falu, number 2, gets out across to the 48-yard line.
These numbers for Mountain View, Ryan, they're getting me as well. It's hard to see with that yellow and gold, but that was a great job by Falu to pick that ball up and find a crease, get to the outside, and get Mountain View with the best field position they've had by far tonight. We'll see if the Dons defense can still answer, as they have not allowed a first down here in the first quarter as we're nearing the end of the first quarter.
1:02 to go before the end of the first quarter. Coming up here at halftime, Sam Higginson and Ken Money will do the halftime show here for you on Spanish Fork 17. Ready to go again. Here's Morgan getting the ball on the sweep. He gets outside across the 50. He's in Spanish Fork territory. He's going to get down to around the 36, 37-yard line. That's another first down here coming up here for Mountain View. That's their first down of the night.
Yeah. Morgan did a good job, and after a big play, momentum-changing play, Mountain View's saying, hey, guys, we're not going to lay down and let the Dons run all over us tonight. Let's go ahead and let's fight, and let's see if we can get something going here.
That might be the biggest play of the night from Mountain View so far. Their first down of the night, and now they're going to get ready to go here inside Spanish Fork territory. 35 seconds to go before the end of the quarter. Sam from shotgun here for the Bruins. 4 wide receivers on the play. Going to give it up the middle again on the option play. Trying to get outside is Holland. He's going to get down to the 30, tripped up, and he's going to come pretty close. He gets down to right around the first down marker as Jake Holland picks up 9.
Yeah, and pretty good job of Spanish Fork screening it out, making sure they didn't give up another big play. But, man, what a huge stiff arm that time by Jake Holland as he puts his hand into Jess Barclay's face.
And so, in fact, they're going to give him a first down. So that's an impressive play there by Holland as he was able to find enough to get that first down. We didn't really think about it. I didn't think it was going to be quite enough for the first down, but on second thought it was. 3 seconds to go. Sam's going to keep it on the carry, gets to the 20, cuts back inside, still on his feet to the 10, still on his feet. Did he get in? And it looks like he's going to be about half a yard short from a Mountain View touchdown. So Sam, and they're trying to signal touchdown. They're going to say it looks like the ball came out at the end of the play, and it's a touchback, and it's Spanish Fork football. The Dons all of a sudden started celebrating, and it is, as right there I saw the ref's hands for a touchback go up, and talk about a huge momentum swing, as we'll see on the Car Guys instant replay. Might be kind of hard to see. He might have been down, actually.
There was mass mayhem, wasn't there, Ryan? Let's see if Andy can get us another shot at that and see what happens. But Sam thought he scored a touchdown. The refs disagree, and there is no instant replay. But let's see if we can see what happens here.
As we'll see.
He did fumble.
Yeah,
He didn't
the
cross
ball,
the plane.
Yeah, the ball comes. If he was down, he was half a yard short. But an exciting first quarter here from Mountain View. So far, Nate Kiesel living up to the hype. And the Dons lead at 13-0 here at Mountain View. We'll take a break here on Spanish Fork 17, where the Dons lead it. And their first game of the year on the road here at Mountain View.
Grandma, are you coming to my game today?
I have a dentist appointment. I'll try and make it.
At Gunderson Dental, we know you are busy. Family, work, friends, and everything else in your life makes it hard to make time for dental work. Dr. Gunderson and his friendly staff will help you keep on schedule so you can do those things that really matter. Same-day treatment gets more work done with fewer visits and less time. Let us help you feel and look better faster. Be there for the important moments. Call us today at Gunderson Dental in Payson.
Auto, home, commercial, and so much more.
We had a devastating fire. I called Tim at 4 a.m. and he came over and American Family Insurance took care of everything.
We suffered water damage in our home. Tim and American Family Insurance took care of everything. American Family Insurance is rated #1 in new policy purchase experience.
Let my family help your family. Save money on your insurance needs.
Kiesel takes the first snap of the second quarter, looking down the field, in and out of the hands as they went right through there. That's Tuate.
Yeah, Tuate just decided he was running a little flag route that time, and it was well covered by the Mountain View secondary that time, and nothing there. And Kiesel just threw it where nobody could get it. Heads up play by Kiesel that time. Going back to that last play of the first quarter, Spanish Fork stripped the ball there. I didn't see who got that, but that was a huge play for the Dons. Mountain View would have definitely got some points out of that.
Kiesel keeps it up the middle, and he's going to be wrapped up. He's going to actually lose a couple of yards. And now it's going to step about 3rd and 12 as...
That was Morgan Martin that came up with the sack that time for the Bruins. He's had a couple of big plays on offense and now makes a big play on defense.
So now a big opportunity here for Mountain View after the devastating fumble. They now try to find a way to get a stop as Kiesel's been right now running all over this Mountain View defense here. They need to get the 30-yard line for the first down. Ready to go. Kiesel steps back to throw. With time, looks, got his man. That's complete to Pendleton. He's going to get enough for the first down, and he's going to get out to around the 34-yard line. First down, Spanish Fork.
And that was a great effort by Pendleton. He just ran a little hitch route again, 7 yards, but he needed 12 to pick up the first down. So it was that second effort, that yards after the catch, that got that first down that time, and he made a couple guys miss.
So a nice job there as able to kind of chase him from behind as now it's going to be a big first down for the Dons. 1st and 10, ball on the 35-yard line. Ready to go here from shotgun. Kiesel going to keep it on the option play. He's going to get the 35 to the 40. He's going to have another first down out across the 45 to around the 47. Another first down for Spanish Fork. That's their 11th first down of the night.
Yeah, and I was expecting Kiesel to have a gun because that's been the rumor going around the neighborhood that he could throw the ball. But, man, I didn't know how athletic this young man was. He's been running all over the Bruins, and he will be a huge weapon for the Dons this season. I'm very impressed early on.
So now ball gets out to the 47-yard line after the keeper by Kiesel. Ready to go from shotgun. Going to give it right up the middle. Here's Funa. Or no, I'm sorry, that's not Funa.
It's Lomax.
That's Lomax again. He gets inside Mountain View territory. Another pickup of 5, and it's to the Bruin 48-yard line.
And I believe Lomax's father played football for BYU back in the day, so great pedigree there for Lomax. He's just a sophomore.
End of the first quarter at Maple Mountain. It's the Golden Eagles and the Woods Cross Wildcats locked at 0 at the end. So kind of two teams that had a lot of offense and no score at the end of one. Ball sits on the 48-yard line now for the Dons. Ready to go. The give to Lomax. Penalty flags flying. With the way that one come in, you'd think probably a procedure penalty against the Dons.
Yeah, definitely a procedure penalty. Well, one good thing for people watching the Maple Mountain Woods Cross game is the first game of the season. It was pouring rain, and then the last game these two played, the wind was blowing so hard at Woods Cross that it was ridiculous. So at least they're getting good weather tonight, if nothing else.
Well, you and I drove up there for that game last year, and it was a nice sunny day, and then all of a sudden as the game went on, it just like dropped 30 degrees, it seems like, from the 1 o'clock kickoff to the time we started driving home.
So, at least they got decent weather, if nothing else.
That's for sure. And now an opportunity for the Dons back in 2nd and 10 after the 5-yard procedure penalty. Took everything away that they had gained. Kiesel back to throw with time, puts it off in the slot, in and out of the hands there. Bobbled by number 35. Tuita again.
We'll go with that.
Just go in and out of the hands here. Our first Spanish Fork game of the year. We're still kind of getting used to everything, all the names and new players and things like that. So we do appreciate your patience there as the car guys instant replay. And that's kind of a ball you have to come up with as a wide receiver.
There has been, 3 or 4 big drops for Spanish Fork, and they've got to start coming up with those. That's how you're going to win region, and this region's wide open because I got news for everybody. Timpview moved up to Region 7.
And so right here, when you really take a look at it, they're going to have an opportunity here to take this team going deep down the sideline. That pass is intercepted. A leaping interception made, trying to get a number. It looks like it was number 11, McKay Waite. No, in fact, I'm sorry, that was 23.
Michael Jordan. No,
it's Kemp Free, the linebacker. That's a great athletic play there for a linebacker.
Yeah, great job. He just kept dropping back in coverage, and Kiesel let it hang up in the air that time, and they took advantage of it. So timing on passing is very critical. If that pass would have came out a little earlier, it would have been a great play, but unfortunately, Spanish Fork's number 84, Jackson Higginson, had to wait too long for that ball to get there.
And a great play there by Free coming up for it at the Mountain View. It looks like they're going to give him the 24-yard line. And the Bruins right back ready to go with the offense. Going to give it Holland, it looks like, on the sweep as the quarterback keeps it, and he's going to be met in the backfield, and he's going to have close to, it looks like, an 8-yard loss there.
Wow, number 47, Funa, came in there like a beast as long as with another guy. I didn't catch the number, but I think it might have been 77, Joseph Chirillo.
And right there, they're going to give him forward progress, and they're only going to say he lost 4 yards. But, boy, by the time that play was over, he was just driven back.
Man, doesn't it feel good to be watching football again, right?
All day I was sitting at work looking at my watch going, still 4 more hours. But it's great to be back. It was such an exciting sports season here on Spanish Fork 17 last year. We're hoping that's another exciting one. Sam ready to go back to throw. One to throw the screen pass. Now he does late. Making the play is Holland, but then immediately being brought down. A great job as they set up the screen, but it looked like number 65,
who's not on our roster,
got there to make the stop, and he maybe got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, great job by number 65. He looks like a beast down there playing defensive end there. Or actually, they've moved him to nose tackle. Looks like they've taken out Jerem Jones for a minute, but number 65, he's a beast.
So sets up a big 3rd and 14. Mountain View hasn't been great in these 3rd and longs tonight.
But going back to that screen pass, that is great discipline by the defensive line to hold back on that and not rush the quarterback, because that just completely destroyed that play.
7:35 to go, and they're going to go deep down the sideline into double coverage, and it's going to fall.
It's picked.
It's intercepted. And
is that Colt Condi that came up with it?
Yeah, it looks like it was number 6, Colt Condi, on the interception. The second time tonight that Spanish Fork is forced a turnover, and now an opportunity for that Don offense to go once again, just throwing it up into double coverage. You can't do that if you're Mountain View. You can't give them more possessions.
Yeah, and Spanish Fork has been winning the field position battle big time here as they start again near midfield. I believe this is the the 3rd time that they've either started it near midfield or in Mountain View side of the ball.
Colt Condi came up with it. Here's Kiesel on the keeper. He's going to get maybe a yard or two out to the 48-yard line. And that's going to...
Morgan that stopped him that time. Great play by Morgan, and that was one of the few times that Kiesel couldn't get away.
And right now, their offense having a difficult time here throughout the night, really trying to get something going if you're if you're Mountain View, anytime you do get momentum, your offense goes out there and turns the ball right back over.
Yeah, and their defense, to your point, is going to get very tired here pretty soon because they've been on the field the entire game. Their offense has gone 3 and out with the exception of one drive where they fumbled the ball into the end zone for a touchback.
Kiesel from the shotgun, 3 wide receivers, single back. And flags fly immediately, and probably another procedure penalty against Spanish Fork. And that's something you just can't have, is you can't just keep pushing yourselves back.
Yeah, if you're a Mountain View fan here, the one positive that they have had is that they've had very few penalties, and is that the 5th?
That's got to be, I'm trying to see here.
Well, that's multiple penalties here. And that's been a killer for this offense tonight. It's not Mountain View that's stopping Spanish Fork. It's Spanish Fork stopping Spanish Fork.
And that's the hard part here, too, is now all of a sudden you're in this huge 2nd and 14. Kiesel steps up. He's going to tuck it down again. Try to get outside. Now chase back behind line of scrimmage. Has to do something, and he's going to go down, fight his way. Maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage, but you would have to think when he's being chased like that, you have to think about just throwing the ball away.
Yeah, you got to throw it away, but he might have passed the line of scrimmage. He looked like he was going to throw it, and then he thought twice about it because he might have passed and then retreated a little bit. But either way, that was a pretty exciting no gain there for Kiesel.
Kiesel able to somehow keep that from no gain, and now it's going to be 3rd down. And about 14 coming up here for Spanish Fork. 5:40 to go in the first half. Coming up at halftime here at Spanish Fork 17, Ken Money, Sam Higginson. They'll be giving you the halftime from down on the field here, give you their thoughts of this first half so far. And if you're Spanish Fork, you have to really like the way this first half has gone for you. Ready to go. Kiesel steps back to throw with some time. Has all day in the pocket. Going deep. Got a man down there. And that was in and out of the hands. And immediately turning there, that was going to be Higginson kind of quickly turning, looking for a flag. Yeah. Instead, it's 4th down.
Yeah, McKay Waite had his hand on him there at the end. If we can see that on the Car Guys instant replay, it looked like a definite pass interference that time. Yeah, they were definitely hand fighting there at the end, and Higginson thought he should have got a flag, and he was right.
So now it's going to be bring up a 4th down at 15 as set ready to go to punt.
That's Stanton.
Stanton's going to put a foot into it. Rugby-style kick from the 30-yard line. Kind of an end-over-end kick. It's going to bounce and take a nice Spanish Fork roll, and it is going to settle it around the 2, maybe the 3-yard line. You couldn't have asked for a better punt if you're the Dons, and now you're putting an offense back out that's had about a 6-play break, and now you're right back out there.
I don't know what Stanton did right, but, man, he had some good karma on that punt as that thing rolled in the right direction. I guess that's the design of that rugby punt. Sometimes you get that bounce roll, and it's not a traditional punt, but you get a little closer, and it can roll.
Mountain View trying to get something going on the night. Mountain View 9 carries for 17 yards. They're 1 for 3 passing with 2 interceptions.
Yeah, if the Dons offense could have clicked on a couple of those possessions, this thing would already be over. But instead, the Dons are letting them hang on, and Mountain View did have that one good drive.
They've just had a tough time trying to find a way to start here with the ball. Ready to go from the shotgun is going to be Sam. He's going to give it up the middle and trying to get outside and get in a couple. It looks to be on the carry there. That is Holland, number 21.
Still, the Dons have been pretty solid tonight, not really giving up too many big plays there. And that was one of the larger runs of the night as they've been averaging about 1 yard a carry.
That's an 8-yard pickup. And now that sets up about 2nd and 2 from the 11-yard line. Heading off the field for Mountain View is follow number 2. Ready to go, the Bruins set. 2 receivers to the right, option play. Sam pitches out to Holland. Ball's on the ground, but Jake Holland able to immediately fall on it. And that's now, instead of being a 2nd and 2, that's going to set you up in about a 3rd and 7.
Yeah, just, play was looking all right for Holland that time. He just couldn't get a handle on it. Him and Sam there not in sync.
As chasing down there, as doing a nice job there for getting it there was Holland. But like you said, now all of a sudden you're back to the 6-yard line and setting up this 3rd down and 6. Big situation coming here. ready to go from the shotgun. Mountain View needs the 14-yard line and ready to go. Rolls out to the right, being pressured now. Going to have to do something with it. Kind of throws it out there, incomplete. Attended there, looks like he had Holland once again out in the flat, but now that's 4th down. Now you're punting from your end zone. Once again, giving Spanish Fork a great position.
Yeah, and I'd go after this kick if I was Jordan Christensen. I'd want to set the tone with my team that we're going to play offense, defense, and special teams. Here, see if you can't get some points on special teams. Back deep once again, we've got Argyle and Stanton.
Stanton and Argyle both standing right around their 50-yard line. Sam ready to go. High snap. Gets it down. The kick is, it looks like
blocked.
They got pieces of it. It's going to go out around the 24-yard line, but a flag comes in. Lofa Funa came in, and I think they're going to get him for maybe a running into the kicker. And if it's running into the punter, it's only the 5-yard penalty, but if it's a personal foul, that's going to give Mountain View an automatic first down.
Well, and Sam had to adjust the angle on that punt. I don't think they told him, hey, kick it straight up in the air, but that's about what he had to do because I thought Funa got a piece of it the way that punt came out, but obviously he didn't.
And it's going to be the personal foul.
Oh, man. But, you know, Funa was very aggressive on that, and he nearly got it. It's one of those scenes where it was so close. Yeah, Sam had to short leg that punt. That punt wasn't going to go with that trajectory unless and Funa just needs to learn to go across the kicker's face and not towards it when he goes after that, and that's something he can learn in practice.
3:23 to go before halftime. 13-0 right now in favor of Spanish Fork. Mountain View trying to get something, if anything, going here for the Bruins. Ball on the 27-yard line, ready to go from the shotgun. The screen pass is going to be completed out to Holland. He's going to make a man miss, and he's going to get out to around the 28-yard line.
After your Mountain View here, what if you can get some points on the board? That would change the second half huge. Spanish Fork's had all sorts of opportunities to put this game out of reach here in the first half, but they haven't taken advantage of it. And Mountain View struggled mightily on offense. And they're still deep in their own territory, but it's not the craziest thing I've ever heard of them going down and scoring a touchdown right before the end of the half.
2nd and 3, ball out to the 29-yard line. Mountain View looking to try to see if they can't get some sort of momentum going before going into that halftime locker room. Your home opener, you don't want to go down. Bobbled the snap. Sam's going to have to keep it, and he maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Whistles blow quickly as able to make not really much out of nothing, but what that could have been was disastrous. A great job there on the keeper just to make sure that nothing big happened.
Timeout called by the Dons of Spanish Fork.
So Spanish Fork's going to start using some
folks,
timeouts here to see if they can't get the ball.
Snack bar and listen to
That's the first
band.
timeout here called by Spanish Fork of the half. So head coach Jordan Smith playing for that opportunity to try to get the ball back to score before halftime. And you have to think with the way your offense has been able to move the ball, you take out a couple of turnovers, and Spanish Fork has, like you said, Chris, they probably have a 2-touchdown lead right now.
Yeah, they probably do. Well, they've got a 2
more touchdown lead.
Let's say 4.
There we go.
As it stands, they're up 13-0. They've been looking really decent as well, so you can't be too critical of the Dons. And, maybe this is a sign of things to come with the defense.
The first time out for Spanish Fork. Chris, we've talked about it, and kind of throughout all the previews that I've read throughout the state, everyone's talking it's a wide open Region 8 with Timpview now moving to Region 7. Yeah. All of a sudden, Region 8, there's 4 teams, Springville, Maple Mountain, Spanish Fork, Salem Hills. Everybody's talking about how that's going to be a 4-team race this year in Region 8.
And I think it's going to come down to just, maybe a turnover here or a big play by somebody that could win you the region title. So Spanish Forks need to clean up some of these mistakes they've been making if they want to compete with the likes of Springville, Maple Mountain, and Salem Hills.
Sam going to keep it. Wow. He's going to be hit in the backfield, but Holland has it, and he's going to get a first down for Mountain View.
I thought Sam had it as well, but that is a very good job of Mountain View getting rid of the fumble, or handing it off that time by Sam.
So another first down coming here as right now with that first down. Mountain View able to try to see if they can score out to the 35-yard line, trying to get everything going. Great to have everybody, Chris. It's great to be back with you. A new season of high school football here on Spanish Fork 17. Back at home next week, the Orem Tigers, another team from Region 7 making the trip down to Spanish Fork. Should be a fun one there. Holland on the carry again. This time he's going to be chased. That's Morgan, actually, number 10. And he's going to be chased still on his feet, but he's going to go down eventually. And he's going to lose quite a bit. A big negative play there.
Smells that Morgan Martin's going to get the ball. They react.
For Mountain View there.
Yeah, Morgan Martin that time broke about 5 tackles. Unfortunately, it was 5 yards back, and the Dons did a good job of everybody hustling to the ball. But you mentioned Orem next week, and then they're at Timpanogos, so they're playing everybody from Orem this year in the preseason. That's a pretty interesting schedule. I was wondering if anybody from Region 8 would schedule Timpview, but it doesn't look like they wanted to.
I think they might have seen Timpview enough. Mountain View is a team definitely going to have to see Timpview this year in Region, along with all the other teams that Spanish Fork's getting in the non-region play. That one's over the middle, ball popped up but incomplete, and a flag comes in late.
Flag on the play.
And it's going to be interesting to see what the call is, because some people might be talking pass interference, saying the Spanish Fork hit him early.
They did hit him early, but I think the guy kind of ran into them too at the same time. It was one of those difficult calls, but I believe Mountain View will get the first down here.
Pass interference indicated against Spanish Fork. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty and another first down. And that's just what Mountain View needed, was a first down.
That's going to move the ball past the stick, making it another Bruin.
They should make that spot foul when it's that close. 15 yards for a pass that was 4 yards out. That just doesn't seem like it's in the spirit of the game.
Mountain View's going to have to hurry. A minute 18 before halftime. Bruins looking for that first score of the season. 1:18 to go, and the Bruins will spread it out with 4 wide receivers here on the play. Sam from shotgun, ready to go, takes the snap, he's going to throw. With some time, hit by Funa from behind, and the ball is going to go in and out of the hands as it hit somebody in the hands out there on coverage for Spanish Fork. Bryce Larson running step for step with number 11, McCabe Waite, but the ball just goes incomplete.
Yeah, well, wow, what a hit that time by Funa, as this time it was Mace Funa, the freshman who just knocked out Sam nearly.
So a big opportunity here with a minute 15. Mountain View taking a shot down the field. And, I mean, that's good to see, because you kind of have to, if you're Mountain View here, picking up 2 or 3 yards at a time at this point isn't going to get you back in this ballgame.
Well, they've only got a minute 15. I believe they have all their timeouts left, so they can score here.
Sam with some time, going to set up the screen. Right there is Mace Funa, number 18. And looked like getting also there was Barkley on the tackle. And so now a couple of yard loss there as Jake Holland got the screen pass.
Timeout is called on the field by the Dons.
Yeah, Spanish Fork will call a timeout to stop the clock here as third down comes up. But the interesting thing is last time they called a timeout in this situation, Mountain View picked it up. So, but Mountain View on that screen, it looks like the offensive line is blocking too well. They're blocking the guys right into the screen pass. That's the second one they've had where they've done that. And it's been made for a very unsuccessful play. There's just a couple of little things that Mountain View needs to clean up as well.
The Spanish Fork student section right now getting excited. Everybody taking a breather here as it's a hot 85, 90-degree day. We're in this kind of a box, kind of like, I kind of thought it was like a bunker, kind of like a tornado shelter you'd see kind of maybe in the Midwest or the South. And I tell you, it's steamy in here tonight.
It's hot. I believe we could survive a nuclear blast.
Yep.
But that's about the only positive.
That's for sure. But it's great to be with everybody here on a Friday night over on Channel 16, Maple Mountain and Woods Cross, and the Golden Eagles home opener. Maple Mountain back at home next weekend, next Friday night for Corner Canyon. Sam Ray take the snap. He's being pressured and what goes down from behind. Landon Jensen, number 10, gets the sack. And now it's going to be third and really long coming up. You have to think if maybe the Spanish Fork might not use the timeout.
They might need to change the name of the city to Sack Fork City, as Spanish Fork has gotten a ton of pressure on Sam here in the first half.
Duns of Spanish Fork.
So right there, Spanish Fork using their final timeout here with 59 seconds. So Coach Jordan Smith playing a little bit of some pressure there, and not bad, but now also selling that offense. Hey, we have faith that you could score under a minute. We're going to see that 2-minute drill for the first time for Spanish Fork tonight.
Yeah, and they've used up their couple of their timeouts. I believe they only have one left. Actually, they have 0 left. I was mistaken there, and so it's going to have to be. The clock will stop on a first down, but you've got to run to the line. You've got to be on in a hurry. And Dawes the kicker, and his range doesn't look like it's too well, so it's almost you got to get inside probably the 10 to even attempt a field goal.
And that's the thing is, you talk about that time, which is huge, but you also have to try to find a way here to get those first downs. With the arm that Nate Kiesel has, that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. What will really help is if they get a great punt return here. Looks like we got Stanton back again, and is that Tanner Argyle?
Punt almost blocked here. Tyrese Williams putting some pressure. Here's Stanton from about the 22. Out across the 30 to the 35. Makes the cutback move, and he's going to come down around the 37-yard line. So not a bad position here if you're
number 12,
if you're Spanish Fork,
as
Stanton gets out to the 36-yard line. But now an opportunity for a quarterback here to try to see if you can't find a way to score. You got 45 seconds. How do you approach this if you're Spanish Fork?
Well, first of all, I'm going to tell my receivers to hang on to the ball because they've had a couple of beautiful passes by Kiesel that just went through the hands. So they've got to worry about catching the ball first and making sure it's, at least a 10-yard pass. Of course, you could go with the 7-yard hitch. That's been open all night, and Mountain View's playing way off.
Kiesel ready to throw on first down. He's looking deep, first play. Got a man out there. It's caught inside the 20, down at about the 15, and that's Higginson again. It's a first down, Spanish Fork at the 19-yard line.
Yeah, great job by Jackson Higginson just running a deep post that time. He gets open, and Kiesel puts it right where he needs to, right in between the corner and the free safety that time. Beautiful execution by the Dons.
Just one-on-one coverage out there, and right there, if that ball's open, Kiesel showing everybody right now in the state of Utah, I got the arm to throw it. 26 seconds to go. Kiesel ready to go. And the corner's got a man, but overthrew him, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, that was Tuita, who wishes he was about 4 inches taller, and he would have came up with that one. But, yeah, Kiesel probably with all that adrenaline for making that beautiful post pass that last time, just a little too much on the throw that time.
Jake Holland on the
one of the good news
for the
is
Bruins.
if you're Spanish Fork, that does stop the clock with 22 seconds to go.
Yeah, they've got another 3 opportunities to go deep to the end zone, and that's exactly what I think Coach Jordan Smith's going to do here in his first year.
Ready to go from shotgun. Kiesel, single back set. He's going to drop back to throw. With some time now, he's going to throw the out route, and that's incomplete. Wasn't even close there to Isaac Pendleton, and that one goes incomplete.
Ball throw.
Yeah, that was definitely the case of miscommunication.
Number 7.
So nobody was home there. And maybe Kiesel was throwing it away, and if that's the case, you don't want to force anything when you're this close. Unless it's 4th down, and then you might as well just go for it.
So 3rd and 10 here for Spanish Fork. 17 seconds, no timeout. You really need to run about a 10-yard route here, something that will stop that clock to get set. Kiesel ready to go from shotgun. 3 wide receivers. Higginson to the bottom of your screen. Single back set. And Kiesel's about ready to go. Gets the snap, drops back on the throw with time, looking over the middle, got some time going to the end zone, and that's going to be off the goalpost, incomplete, and hit the bottom part of the goalpost, looking for Argyle in the back of the end zone.
I think that was Higginson that time, but wow, it's a good thing Higginson didn't get up there and try and catch it. He could have got his fingers smashed into the side of the goalpost there. I've never seen that before, to be honest with you. Wow.
Yeah, that one just hits the bottom, and so now it's 4th down, and it looks like Spanish Fork with 8 seconds to go before half. They're going to go for it here.
Yeah, and the one thing that Kiesel's done, he's thrown the ball out of the end zone a couple times. He needs to be aware of where that end line is.
And maybe some of that, maybe he's just trying to put it in a spot where nobody can get to it, but still you'd like to see him thread the needle here. Ready to go, 5 seconds before, throws a pass. That's going to be short of the first down.
And he doesn't get out of bounds.
And the clock expires anyway, and the first half's going to come to an end. So the pass got complete to Pendleton. And right there, that will end the first half. So 13-0 Spanish Fork. The Dons have moved the ball well offensively, taken advantage of a couple scores, have left a lot of points on the scoreboard. We'll see how the second half goes after the break. After the break, Ken Money and Sam Higginson with the halftime show. For my partner Chris Hurst, I'm Ryan Pickens. We'll see you at the start of the third quarter here on Spanish Fork 17.
My name is Karma Karsten, the owner of Maple Creek Home Health and Hospice. I've been a nurse for over 30 years and provided hospice care to patients and their families in Utah County as well as Salt Lake County.
I'm Loretta Williams, and this is my mother. If it wasn't for Karma, I don't know where we'd be.
Anyone that comes my way, I've already told them they should see Karma.
If you or a loved one are facing a terminal illness, give us a call or visit our website.
Fresh cut lettuce, perfectly sized vegetables, all the things you need for a fine salad. Fresh baked breads and pastries, cinnamon rolls to drool for. Home-styled sandwiches that will please any appetite. Is this some new gourmet restaurant in town? Nope, it's all right here at the Dugout. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, the Dugout hits a home run. The Dugout, located next to the ballpark and the fairgrounds in Spanish Fork.
Auto, home, commercial, and so much more.
Both my car and my home are covered by American Family, and I love the savings.
I couldn't be happier with the way I've been treated by Tim at American Family Insurance. I'm not just a number, I'm Jack.
Tim Shanto in Spanish Fork has received the Distinguished Agency Award for the past 7 years for his level of customer service.
Let my family help your family. Save money on your insurance needs.
American Family Insurance.
Here at Drockton & Bullion & Coin, we are here for all of your gold and silver needs. We sell silver rounds, highest quality, highest purity, and you don't have to worry about whether they're certified because they are. We also sell collectible gold coins, gold bullion, Morgan silver dollars, our specialty silver rounds like this baseball. Everything you could think about is available through Drockton Bullion & Coin right here in Spanish Fork.
My name is Karma Karsten, the owner of Maple Creek Home Health and Hospice. Maple Creek provides care for those facing a life-limiting illness in the comfort of their own home. Assessing someone's situation and their specific disease and the medications that's required takes experience. We at Maple Creek have that experience. Medicare pays 100% for all hospice services. There are no complicated forms for you to fill out. If you or a loved one are facing a terminal illness, give us a call or visit our website.
Hi, this is Paul Drockton with Drockton Bullion & Coin. Many of you are worried about paper and as a result have already invested in gold and silver. Did you know that there's a physical possession IRA where you get all the tax benefits, but you can actually manage where your gold and silver is stored? Why trust a depository where
I ran, I showered, I was like, oh, that's it.
You need it. Come to Drockton Bullion & Coin. Not only do we offer gold and silver, we offer security.
Hi, I'm Aaliyah, a fourth-generation member of the Painter Motor family. Here at Painter Motor, we offer a wide range of GM makes and models. We pride ourselves in customer quality and competitive pricing. Come on down to our showroom at 1100 North Main Street in Nephi, Utah, or visit our website at www.paintermotor.com. No pressure, no hassle. We'll help you find your dream car.
Game of the year, Sam, it's just what we thought it would be.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy on the offensive side of the ball. I think for both teams, the timing doesn't seem to be 100% there. I think there's a little bit of, the timid attitudes from the receivers, the running backs, and even the quarterbacks. There's just not a whole lot of continuity right now.
But don't hit. You got to take a lick, you got to give a lick, and then all of a sudden you're kind of maybe more into it.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I think this is the first time that teams are, they're getting hit by another opponent.
Right,
so
been hitting themselves,
weird.
right?
Yeah, it feels kind of weird, and I think once they break through that, they're going to be fine. But I think defensively, and we'll talk a little bit more about offense, but right now defensively is definitely winning the battle so far.
Oh, I think we're controlling the line of scrimmage. Maybe a couple of turnovers, a couple of penalties that kept drives alive for Mountain View. I mean, let's face it, I don't really think between me and you, Mountain View's got a great offensive team.
No, I don't think they do either. I think that Mountain View is really down right now. They're doing some good things. They've got a nice little offense, but they don't have a whole lot of personnel. If you look at their sideline is way, way down.
Yeah, that's true. And, and here we are at halftime. The Spanish Forks ahead 13-0. Mountain View did have a nice drive where they got right to the goal line and fumbled in the end zone. It could have been a one-touchdown game.
Yeah, and, that would have been kind of a pressure point for Spanish Fork, because I think Spanish Fork is a much better team physically from athletes if you just matched up the athletes. But it could have been a really tight game right there. So sometimes those things happen in football, and you kind of got to get over the hump right there.
Right, and the guys that we talked about in the pregame show you haven't disappointed. Lo Fafuna has been all over. He's pretty dominant on the defensive side.
Yeah, Lo Fafuna is the real deal. I mean, he is definitely a D1 prospect. You can see it on the field, size-wise, speed-wise. His ability and what he's doing on the field is just amazing right now.
And Jess Barclay is right. He's around the ball all the time, going to be in on a lot of tackles. And Jack Tobiasen, first sack of the game. Was it maybe the first play of the game? He made his presence felt.
Yeah, Jack Tobiasen, I think, could be a big-time player for the Dons. He is going to be a guy that he's going to be tough to block. He's got good athleticism, he's got good speed, and he's certainly got the size. But what I would say, Ken, from a defensive perspective, I think that you're seeing a lot of really cool things from some of the younger guys. Landon Jensen just got a huge sack right there, a really athletic play. Colton Condi had a pick. These are young kids, juniors, that are playing their first varsity game, and so it's kind of fun to see that.
Yeah, and a couple of interceptions, we had a roughing the kicker on Spanish Fork. And that's just a hustle play by Lofa, trying to make good things happen, pressing a little bit. But, it's been a lot of fun, and, it's a perfect night for football. We're here, the sun's just going down. We're getting ready for the second half. Let's maybe turn our attention maybe a little bit to the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I think that Nate Kiesel, you can obviously see his arm strength is there. He's definitely got that ability to zip the ball. And Coach Smith, in our pregame show, talked about him being a slinger and an athletic guy, and we're seeing that. I think he's kind of right now a run-first guy, but you can definitely see that he's got that ability to throw the ball, but the timing and some of that stuff is just not quite there. But we're coming around.
Oh, the first half of the first game, really, and his first game as a Don, really, playing. You got something in your eye.
Yeah,
your eyes watering. You're emotional about
it. All this smoke.
Absolutely. And then Jackson Higginson. I'll talk about Jackson, so you don't have to, but huge. Made a couple big catches and long catches, and then another one that, from my point of view, it looked like it could have been pass interference, but he's right there. I think, Spanish Fork utilize the tight end a little bit more. Funa again on offense, carrying the ball, and just some, and it looks to me like special teams, kind of like we'd expect, a little bit ragged at this point.
Yeah, I think so too. Special teams is not quite there, but again, you pointed out Lofa on the running side of the ball. We look really good running the football. He tried to extend one and fumbled the ball there, but it's A for effort. When you see a guy going and trying to get those extra yards, it's fun to see that. But also Isaac Pendleton has really stepped up. He's made some really nice catches today, running really good routes. He's got his DB completely guessing. So when you see that as an offensive coordinator, and I'm sure Coach Smith is seeing that, that's something you're really excited about.
And I think another big plus, kudos go to the offensive line, because Kiesel's back there and he's got lots of time. He's looking at his first option, his second option, third option, then he may run, or he's got time to throw. So, that's Tanner Parker's a beast on the end. I watched him kind of seal off the end on the left side, and there's nobody getting around him. So there's some serious size and some athletic ability on the offensive line.
I agree. That's the one thing that has been probably the glaring thing that's standing out, is the offensive line has given Nate all the time that he needs to throw the football. And in fact, I think that's probably thrown their timing off a little bit, because we have a pretty good second-team defensive line, and they've been going against those guys in practice. And it's tough to kind of get that, that continuity and that timing down between receivers and quarterbacks. And when you've got that much time, sometimes it throws you off a little bit. So
it really does. I think that's a good point. And as you can see over our shoulder, we've got some Spanish Fork faithful that showed up, made the drive to Mountain View High School. It's a great field. It's a great night. If you're not here, you need to keep tabs of the Dons. It's going to be an exciting season. And if you can't make it, we have a couple options where people can be watching the game as well.
Yeah, you can go to Spanish Fork or sfcn.org, and you can click on and watch both the Maple Mountain game, which is being played live. I wish we had an update for them, but you can watch the Maple Mountain game live. You can also watch the Spanish Fork, the YouTube channel. We got this YouTube/Spanish Fork 17. You can watch both of these games live. It's amazing. I just got a text message. I want to share this because I just got a text message from Paul Jones, whose son is the starting center for the Dons, a sophomore, and he said, what a great tribute to have this SFCN on the YouTube channel, because he's watching it from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia right now. So
We're everywhere. We are busted everywhere.
It's awesome to see that.
Oh, that is fun. You know what? And it's just a typical game. We got the hamburgers going. You can smell the hamburgers cooking. We got an announcer that's
Maybe
kind
that's what's causing the eye drip.
Maybe so. And a crazy announcer, guys. It's a lot of fun. Home fans. There's a lot of enthusiasm for Mountain View, and good for them because honestly, they haven't had a lot of success, and it has the potential to be a long season for them. But they're here with some enthusiasm as well as the Spanish Fork kids, and it's just fun. It's just exactly what we thought it would be.
And you know what? I honestly think that Mountain View is going to get better and better each week. They're a team that, you know, when you look at their numbers, it's just really tough to be that competitive. You're going to be competitive for 2 or 3 series, but it's tough to be competitive for the long term. But they got a great atmosphere, as you said, the hamburgers, a great stadium down here in the bowl over here at Mountain View. So it's just a great time to get out and watch some high school football. It's fun to be back.
It really is. And, you know, as we're talking right now, Coach Jordan Smith, his rookie coach, his first game as a high school head coach. He's in there giving his first halftime speech. He's got to be feeling pretty good about things. I think he may not admit it, but the game's under control. I mean, we make a couple turnovers get turned around, and this is a 4 or 5 touchdown game. So he's got to be having a lot of fun, whether he realizes it at this point or not.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Jordan's probably fretting a little bit in that locker room. But he's also feeling pretty good because, in fact, we are up 13-0. I feel like we're in control. Defensively, they haven't been able to, or offensively for them, they have not been able to do anything against us. So I think our defense is really looking solid right now. Offensively, we could sharpen up and tighten things down a little bit. But again, that's to be expected at this point in the season.
Yeah, and it's been a lot of fun. And if I have one word of advice for the coach, throw it to number 84, Jackson Higginson. He's open all over the field all night. They can't catch him. So thanks for joining us. We're looking forward to a second half. We're just 3 or 4 minutes away from kickoff, and we will see you back in the studio and get ready for next week's game.
All right, look forward to seeing you guys.
And that's all for us. Thank you.
Nutrient formulation, or MMF, is a unique proprietary blend of important antioxidant micronutrients and key minerals to conform to the CQF format. Basically what that means is we have uniquely combined endogenous antioxidants, the kind that the body makes, with dietary antioxidants, those that you get from the diet, and importantly, glutathione elevating agents. Glutathione is your body's most important internal antioxidant. What we've been able to do is combine these in the right dose, the right ratio, the right isoform, and with the proper dose schedule to give you the best biologically available and best biologically effective product. And that's why we get the excellent results that we get with MMF.
Life, Medicare, and health insurance can certainly be a confusing mess. At the Health Insurance Center, we will help you understand your options and provide for you the highest quality plans available, along with some of the lowest rates in the state. We want to create long-lasting relationships, so you will always know the best options for your changing health care needs. Contact John at 801-400-6473 or visit our website for more information.
My name is Karma Karsten, the owner of Maple Creek Home Health and Hospice. Hospice is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, weekends, holidays. Maple Creek's responsibilities are to keep patients in their homes and managing their symptoms such as pain, fatigue, anxiety, loneliness, allowing their families to have a better relationship with the patient. Take the time to educate yourself about the hospice benefit and what hospice can do for you and your family.
Great news! That same Doug Smith experience you've known in American Fork is also now just down the road in Spanish Fork with a great new brand, Chevrolet, plus Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Doug Smith for the best car buying experience ever.
Hey, Doug.
Voted 2014 Best Automotive Repair in Utah Valley Magazine, Dickerson Automotive.
What's going on today?
Oh, they're just here for the free Wi-Fi. I've got Australia.
Dickerson Automotive has 3 ASE certified master automotive technicians that smell like bacon. Well, because everybody loves bacon.
Boy, it sure smells good in here. Is that bacon?
Bring home more bacon. In other words, spend less with the Dickerson Automotive Deal of the Month. Call for our specials or visit our website.
At Dickerson Automotive,
We're committed to the finest repairs with personal care.
I trust Dickerson Automotive, and you can too.
Dickerson Automotive, way north on Main in Spanish Fork.
Free radical production caused by oxidative stress. It's an issue that leads to a host of human health conditions. Just as a lead pipe left out in the rain over time will oxidize or rust, we human beings are aging and rusting because of free radicals. Free radicals attack cells, proteins in cells, lipids and membranes, and even DNA. In fact, DNA is attacked very early in the process.
Engage Global. Abundance in health, abundance in life.
Mountain View here at Mountain View High School in Orem. The Spanish Fork Dons leading 13-0 here on Spanish Fork 17. We do want to remind our viewers that over on Channel 16, it's the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles who are up on the Woods Cross Wildcats 7-6 in what has been a low-scoring contest. We get ready and set for action here. Ryan Pickens alongside with Chris Hurst. And Chris, that first half for Mountain View saw a tough offensive going, 1.5 yards average per play. How do you get something going right now if you're Mountain View?
Well, they struggled early on, and then they finally got that one drive going, and then Sam fumbled the ball into the end zone for a touchback, and that just really killed the momentum. But they've shown that they can move the ball, so if they take the ball here and possibly score, that would be huge, and they'd be right in this game. And if you're Spanish Fork, you got to be a little disappointed you haven't put the foot on the throat, so to speak, of Mountain View, because they've had the chance. They're averaging over 10 yards a play here compared to Mountain View's just barely almost 2. So they've had the big advantage. It's just been penalties, a couple turnovers that's really killed Spanish Fork's offense. But they do lead 13-0, so there is a rainbow at the end of that.
James Dahl puts a foot into it, and that's going to be a low line drive kick returned by Sam out across the 10, down across the 20 to the 30, jumps it outside. That's going to be out across almost the 40 to the 41-yard line. So a great opportunity. In fact, I'm sorry, that is number 2, Mahanri Follow on the return.
Great return by Mountain View. We'll see if they can capitalize on that big return here on offense. But if you're Spanish Fork, you got to have a lot of confidence in those big, ugly guys down there, as they've been dominating this Mountain View line. In the Deseret News preview, they mentioned how great Mountain View's line's going to be. But man, I've been really impressed with just the 3 defensive linemen. They've opened up a lot of things for those linebackers.
We've been talking about whether we would see Morgan Martin at quarterback. We've seen him the entire night at receiver. Malagali Sam, 8 for a negative 12 yards, and the first play of the third, we have a procedure penalty here coming up probably against Mountain View when it is.
Yeah, and that sets them back in the hole there 5 yards. And this is only the second time they've had really good field position. Last time they got something going with it, so not a good way to start there.
And so right there, that's going to move the ball back 5 yards, and it's 1st and 15 from the 33-yard line.
Yeah, if you're Spanish Fork, just keep being stout on defense and bringing a lot of pressure from the outside. They've done a great job of having the outside linebackers blitz.
Ready to go. The ball's going to be thrown. That's complete right back to about the original line of scrimmage, and that's going to be complete to, it looks like, number 23, and that is Kent Free, the linebacker turned almost tight end look there.
Yeah, Emu Apu came in and made him pay for that catch, and Emu Apu has been having a great game so far this evening.
Out to the 40-yard line, a 7-yard gain, and it's 2nd down and 8, ball on the 40-yard line here for Mountain View. Mountain View in the maroon and yellow, Spanish Fork in the all white uniforms, ready to go. Sam from shotgun takes the snap. He's going to be pressured, and he's going to try to step away. He's going to be hit by Funa, and Lofa Funa gets him right around the line of scrimmage. Maybe with the tackle, he got a half a yard, but that's going to be the greatest distance he got there, and there will give him a half a yard.
Yeah, and Funa's done a great job of coming off the edge at that outside linebacker position, and he's lining up on both sides. He's just trying to figure out which Mountain View tackle he wants to terrorize tonight, and he's a lot quicker than those big tackles. They're big, but they're not moving too quick. Very impressive showing for the Dons defense tonight. We can't say enough good things about them so far.
3rd down and about 7 from the 41-yard line. Shotgun set for Sam. Single back, 4 receivers on the play. Sam rolling out to throw. Being pressured, throws out in the flat. That's complete to Free to the 45-yard line, but short of the first down. Have to kind of wonder if you're Mountain View, if you might just take a chance and go for it here.
No, they're bringing out the punt team here, and so they won't take a chance. But, you know, at this point you got to play field position. You can always hope for a turnover. Those type of things, you know. I think this early in the game you don't want to be going for it on 4th down because you never know. In high school there's a lot of bobbled punts. There's a lot of, you know, fumbles on running plays, interceptions. So I think this is a smart move by Lewis Wan to punt.
Sam ready to go with the punt, puts a foot into it at the 35, a line drive kick. Coming up to return it and gets a running start, gets outside across the 40. On the return, and it's going to be number 3. That's Tanner Argyle, who just got a running start. And as a punt returner, you get a running start. That really just kind of opens everything up.
Yeah, and I was hoping he'd bounce it to the outside. It looked like there was a little more light to the outside, but he did a great job at catching that ball on the run. But if you're Coach Jordan Smith, you got to be holding your breath. I've seen a lot of kids run up to catch a punt like that and have it just bounce out of their arms.
So now it's going to be 1st down and 10. Ball on the 47-yard line for the Dons. Ready to go to work here for the first time. Gives it right up the middle. Here's and that's not Funa.
Lomax.
That's Lomax again.
Number 32 for the Dons.
Lomax just a sophomore, and he's gotten a couple of carries.
That was actually Williams, number 32 on the carry.
Oh, 32. Yeah, you're right.
Number 76.
And Fui able to make this tackle, but a 6-yard gain there. Able to move the ball down to the 47-yard line of Spanish Fork.
Yeah, I guarantee if you gave any coach the truth serum on a running play, 6 yards on 1st down, that's exactly the goal there, so they succeeded.
Ready to go right up the middle again. It's Williams, and he's going to maybe get half a yard to the 45-yard line, but immediately wrapped up by that Mountain View defensive line. And so an opportunity here for Mountain View to maybe get a stop and get something to go. But if you're Spanish Fork, this is really an opportunity. You have to try to come away with points here.
Yeah, you got to come up with some points because the longer you let Mountain View hang in this game, you know, there's always that chance of a couple of big plays and you lose it, and it'd be disappointing as well as the Dons have played tonight. So I think this is the drive where they can show their superior football skills.
8:15 to go in the 3rd quarter. Flags fly as Kiesel takes the snap, and this is probably going to be a procedure call against the Dons.
Yeah, another procedure call. They've had a few of those. Everybody's excited, amped up. It's the first week, so you see a lot of penalties in the first few weeks of the season, especially at the high school level.
So an opportunity here on the 3rd down and 8 here. So, I mean, not a terrible thing that happens with the false start penalty, but now it does put you in a much longer 3rd and 8. Kiesel going to go back to throw, ball on the midfield line. Throws an out route. That's going to be complete. Getting by and leaping and diving for the first down was Devin Argyle. Or no, sorry, that's
Jackson Higginson.
Jackson Higginson, number 84 there, making the diving, making just kind of that last-ditch effort with the leap and gets the first down.
Yeah, there's been a long line of receivers with the last name of Higginson here at Spanish Fork, and great second effort there by Jackson Higginson.
Ball will sit on the 41-yard line for Spanish Fork. 13-0 Dons, 7:31 to go before halftime. Before the end of the 3rd quarter. Ready to go from shotgun. Kiesel ready to go with one man to his right. 3 wide receivers on the play. Back to throw with some time. Kiesel's going to look down the sideline for Higginson again, and it just kind of overthrew him and put it about one step, maybe too far out in front of Higginson there.
And Higginson showing that he's definitely going to be the deep threat. He's got some wheels on him. He's not the tallest kid, but man, he can get open and beat those corners on those deep routes. We've seen that multiple times tonight.
And you really think of it, when you take a look at this Region 8 as a whole, and you look at what you're going to need to win a Region 8 title, you're going to have to play complete games. And if your defense can continue to put numbers up like this, your offense, that's going to take a lot of pressure off that offense, where you don't need necessarily to score 40 a night to win.
Yeah, it's a lot better when you need to score 20 every game to win than 40, that's for sure.
Second down, going to go right up the middle. Here's Funa. He gets free for the first time. Lowers his head, runs over a couple, still on his feet to the 20. And boy, he just kind of got second level there, just lowered the shoulder and picks up around 20 yards.
Yeah, that was some tough running there. He probably got a dozen yards after contact, as we can watch it here on the Car Guys instant replay. But he needs to keep both hands on the ball when he's making those moves, or he might, turn it over again. We've already seen him fumble it once.
You kind of saw that hand, just kind of that one hand hold that ball in. And
got to hold it tight in traffic.
1st and 10, ball on the 19-yard line. Ready to go from shotgun. Kiesel's going to fake it. Now he's going to roll away from pressure. And is able to throw at the last second. Back of the end zone. Got a man, but overthrew. That is Salali in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, another great job of Kiesel throwing it out of the end zone. He's a magician back there. Nobody can bring him down. He's very elusive. At least so far he has against Mountain View. And it's kind of tough to tell when, you're playing a team like Mountain View that's record hasn't been stellar the last few years. Last year, I believe they were 2-8. So maybe it's just a little bit of the competition, but he's looked great getting away from Mountain View.
He's had a lot of time to throw and kind of move around that pocket, and when pressure has come, he's evaded it. Ready to throw again. He's going to look towards the corner of the end zone. Got a man caught. Touchdown, Spanish Fork, and that's going to be Tuita, and it's a touchdown for the Dons. It's 19-0 Spanish Fork.
Yeah, great job. He ran a little out pattern that time. That play, they've tried it before, and this time they finally connected. Great job. And you got to have good arm strength to throw it clear across the field like that, as we can see on the Car Guys instant replay. And that's a huge touchdown in this game. It might take the wind out of the sails of Mountain View.
A 19-yard strike here with 6:35 to go in the third quarter. And, I mean, that is a huge one as Daw adds the extra point. It's 20-0 Spanish Fork. And, I mean, you've seen Kiesel do it through the air. You've seen him do it through the ground game. You got to like the idea here. So maybe some thoughts after losing the 3-year starter in Jason Money this year. He graduated last year for Spanish Fork. Now all of a sudden it looks like they found a nice replacement.
Kiesel's done a great job. I've been very impressed with him. He's got a lot of poise in the pocket as well. He doesn't, if there's a little pressure, he doesn't get too excited and make a huge mistake. So, he's definitely making a push for our MVP Sports MVP player of the game. Also like to thank our other sponsors. We got the Car Guys. You can check them out at thecarguysut.net and find a nearly used vehicle there. They're down on Main Street. MVP Sports, we mentioned them as well as the MVP player of the game. You can go check them out for any sports equipment you need, custom jerseys, those type of things. They'll do it all. And then
Lance Wilson
State Farm Insurance. I cannot remember that first name, and you can get an insurance quote if you need some insurance on your house, car, auto, whatever you need. I guess car and auto was pretty redundant there.
So ready to go, James Daw to put a foot into it at the 40. And we're back underway here. Another short kick. Follow coming up to it at the 15. Across the 20 to the 25, still on his feet. He'll be brought down around the 34-yard line. So Mountain View hasn't had bad field position, especially here in the second half, but just haven't been able to get that offense going.
Yeah, and it's all started up front. You see that 3-4 defense, and the key to the 3-4 defense is you need your nose tackle to take on two guys. You need your defensive ends to occupy guys, and that opens up big holes for the linebackers. And believe it or not, the defensive tackles, they've been able to get enough pressure that they're making tackles themselves, and that's not the design. And also you've had Funa coming off the edge like a wild man at that outside linebacker, and he's came at both sides. So it's been a great job by that front seven for Spanish Fork tonight.
First and 10, ball on the 35-yard line, ready to go. The screen pass outside. That's going to be number 10. That's Morgan Martin on the catch. On the screen pass, he's going to end up getting about 8 or almost 9 on that, setting up a nice 2nd and 1 here for Mountain View.
That looks like we got a Don down right now. That's number 27, Emo Apu, I believe, that's down. Hopefully, you know, it is a little hot tonight. Maybe it's just a little leg cramp. It looks like he's cramped up down there.
And that's the thing about these games in August that, you know, we talked about how it's going to be in October when it's going to kind of cool down, even next month into September. But these first couple of weeks, you've been through the 2-a-day process, you've been through camp. It's a little bit different, though, when you're putting those pads on for real.
Yeah, and, you know, going 4 quarters and just got to make sure you drink your Gatorade, I guess. But it looks like he's going to be fine, and that's just a cramp. So I would expect to see him back here pretty soon. As all indications is it looks like his calf just, you know, tightened up there. And we see them stretching out some Mountain View players here on the sideline as well. So it's not a situation that's unique to Spanish Fork, and a lot of these guys are going both ways.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, and especially, you talk about both these teams, you know, especially Mountain View, they don't have a huge group of numbers, and so a lot of these guys are going to play both ways, and that can kind of make it tough, especially when you're in these first few months of the season. Even when you get to the end, these first few weeks, and then you get to the end of the season, guys start getting banged up. It's tough when you have those small numbers like Mountain View does.
And Mountain View looks like they couldn't even fill the JV team. They have hardly anybody on the bench.
The keeper for Sam gets outside across the 50. That's going to be good enough for a Mountain View first down. And they get to the 48-yard line. So Mountain View able to move the sticks here for the first time in the third quarter, trying to do anything they can to get anything going.
Yeah, and anytime Mountain View's tried to go up front, they've not been able to do anything. So it looks like they're going to attack the edges here. They've had a lot more success attacking the edges against this Don defense, but they've been pretty solid tonight. So
20-0, 5:59 to go, third quarter. Mountain View into Spanish Fork territory at the 59-yard line, or at the 49-yard line, as Sam takes the give. Holland fumbles. I think he fell right back on it, though. Jake Holland just takes the carry, and it just falls right on the ground, able to quickly pick it up. Only is going to lose about 2, maybe 3 yards on that, so a fortunate break there for Mountain View. A turnover at this point, and a Spanish Fork score could really turn the game.
Yeah, that's very true, but I've got to ask you, have you been watching Canadian football with the 59-yard line?
You know, that's the first thing that came to my mind after I said it, and the answer to that, I really should say yes to kind of, you know, protect, you know, that comment, but the answer would be no, unfortunately.
Actually, I don't know how that works because they have 2 50-yard lines.
Ready to go. Sam from shotgun's going to give it right up the middle. Here's Holland again across the 50 to around the 47-yard line. So he's able to pick up 5 more, but still is going to set up this third down in about 8.
And just another solid defensive stop there. They did get a few yards, but you can live with that. I think any coach would take 3rd and 8 here in this situation, and the Don's defense has been huge.
Update you on a couple of scores to pass along. American Leadership Academy leading Altamont 21-0 at the half. Lone Peak leading Bountiful 17-0 at the half. And then Corner Canyon, the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles opponent next week, lost earlier today to Pleasant Grove 14-10. Ready to go, going to roll out is Sam. He's going to have some time to go down the field. Got a man out there, and it's bobbled up and intercepted. It's picked off by Devin Argyle. He's going to bring it back, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds. There's a flag down and also a Bruin down. And we'll see here what the penalty is. Where it came in, you would think either it's going to be on the pass, but it looked pretty clean.
Yeah, there was a lot going on at the end of that play. I think it's just another cramp here, as it is a very hot, and it's kind of a little humid as well. It's been in the 90s. I'm sure it's cooled down to the 80s now, but it's definitely hot, and a lot of these kids are going both ways. I think he's just got a leg cramp there. Hopefully that's the case. But great job by Devin Argyle tipping that ball to himself, coming up with a pick, and that's the second big pick for the Dons tonight. Defense has done great.
Block in the back. It looks like going to be on the return there for Spanish Fork. A couple other Region 8 scores, Chris. An interesting one. Springville opening their season up with Dixie, as Maple Mountain's actually just taken a 14-6 lead on Woods Cross. But, Chris, another score to pass along. Springville opening up the season with Dixie. They're tied at 14 at the half in Springville.
Yeah, well, Springville cannot beat Dixie. They're like their kryptonite. So I'm not shocked by that score. Dixie's been a very competitive team, even though they're down at that 3A level. But yeah, looks like we got a little upset alert, as you mentioned. Maple Mountain's up 14-6, and you can catch that game on. Just drop your dial down to 16. We got games on 17 and 16 this season. We're balling out here on the SFCN.
Good opportunity here as they take care of the injured Bruin on the field. Salem Hills beating Delta 40-8. So the Skyhawks opening up with the win on Delta. This week's kind of the endowment week throughout the state of Utah, so you're getting a lot of these games aren't necessarily 4A schools against 4A schools or 5A versus 5A. A lot of these games are 4A versus 3A and things like that. So that's why you're kind of seeing some of these bigger schools maybe beating up on some of the lower schools here. Trying to see if any other real notable scores here as we go through. Provo trailing by 1, 16-15 to Cedar. That's almost at halftime there. Down, it looks like, in St. George. Snow Canyon beating Payson 28-0. This is one thing in the Region 8. Uinta and Payson joining Region 8 this year, and that's going to be maybe a tough challenge for those schools moving up from the 3AA to 4A.
And I can't imagine being an athlete at Uinta. You're going to have to travel a lot, especially if for these sports like basketball and baseball. Football won't be as bad, but man, it's a nice 2.5-3 hour drive to every region game you participate in.
Uinta playing up the road here against Orem from where we are, Chris, here at Mountain View High School, and Uinta trailing 24-9 to the Orem Tigers. The opponent, the Spanish Fork, will get next week at home.
Yeah, we're on step 1 of 3 of the Orem tour for Spanish Fork as they play Mountain View this week. They got Orem the next week, and then after that we have Timpanogos, and that game will be the only one not on Channel 17 as KJ has picked that up.
Yeah, and the opportunity then you open up if you're the Spanish Fork team. And Chris, this is one thing to keep in mind when you look at the start of the Region 8 schedule for Spanish Fork. These non-region games are so huge because look at the schedule to open it up, Chris. You open up region, you go to Salem Hills. That's going to be an intense rivalry game. Next week, you're at home against Springville, and then you go to crosstown rival Maple Mountain on the 25th. So not just are you opening up with a bunch of games that are rivalry-type games in this region, but you're opening up against the 3 teams that people are saying, all 4 of those schools that I just mentioned, Spanish Fork and the 3 opponents, are all the projected playoff teams.
Yeah, and you've got to put your seatbelt on because they could very easily go 0-3, but at the same point, if they play well, they could easily go 3-0. I predict they'll probably go 2-1 or 1-2, but at the same time, that's going to be where Spanish Fork's going to be battling for this region championship because I imagine they'll take care of business against Payson, Uinta, and Wasatch.
Shotgun set here for Kiesel here. He's going to go quickly over the middle and missed his man, just threw it low. Braden Christensen, number 5, was kind of streaking there on that streak route, and it looks like the ball just didn't quite get in his hands, and the throw was low.
It kind of came out funny, didn't it? I mean, it just kind of came at the ground. We haven't seen – it might have got tipped. I don't know if we can see that on the Car Guys instant replay, but that just didn't look like your typical Kiesel pass.
He's been so solid tonight, and maybe tipped by that linebacker, but I don't know. That might be a stretch, though.
He was under duress. There was a lot of pressure there.
2nd and 10 for the Dons, ready to go. Gives it right up the middle, and once again, that's going to be number 15 on the carry. That's Sam Heredia, and Heredia is going to get about 5 or 6 on the carry.
Yeah, Spanish Forks utilized multiple running backs here. It looks like they're going to try and figure out here in the preseason who their 2 or 3 top guys are, but in the meantime, they've ran like 4 or 5 guys, which this is a great, if I'm a coach, I'd rather play a little bit of a lesser opponent, kind of learn some things about your team, and that's exactly what Spanish Forks got tonight, and I'm sure Coach Jordan Smith will be able to take a lot out of this game.
Kiesel set from shotgun. He's going to throw. Pressure. Now he's going to roll away. Gets away. Flags come in. He's going to get the first down, but this probably is coming back, I would think, with a hold from where that penalty came in. We'll wait and see the call. And those tough situations, you got a great playmaker in Kiesel, but with the mobile-type quarterbacks, you are going to open up a little more of those holding calls.
Yeah, your offensive linemen kind of get some weird angles at some points, and they try and not hold, but at some point you can't just let the guy go by, and sometimes they grab a little jersey and the refs see it. You're okay to hold as long as you don't get caught, and usually you can hold in the trenches there and grab their inner part of their shoulder pads, but on the outside, that's no, it's not going to work for you.
The thing it's going to do, it's going to move that ball way back inside the 10.
I can't even see him anymore.
It's going to be third and about 17 from the 7-yard line. So we're going to see Kiesel, I would think, with that arm. The interesting thing is Mountain View's playing up and kind of man bump and run coverage. Kiesel's going to look deep. He's going to throw it up. He's got Higginson, and they just threw it over the wrong shoulder. Higginson kind of went on the post route, and Kiesel threw it to the back shoulder.
Yeah, he thought he was going to run the flag route apparently, or maybe he was just getting rid of the ball. But either way, they'll have to punt here deep in their own territory, and I imagine Mountain View is going to be bringing the heat on this punt.
So it's going to be Stanton, the sophomore, who has the rugby-style punt, which is one thing you have to kind of watch out with, is because with that kind of rugby-style punt, Chris, if you have numbers, you have a chance, and there's a snap over the head for a safety.
Oh.
And so Mountain View is going to get on the board via the safety. Not exactly the way the Bruins wanted to get on the board, but at this point, you'll take any way that you can with 3:21 to go in the third quarter.
And the Mountain View faithful go nuts in front of us as they get 2 points, and that's disappointing. I was hoping the Dons could get a shutout, but at the same point, you got to execute on offense, defense, and special teams, and that was a huge special teams mishap there on the snap.
And that is really the good thing with getting these games early on to just kind of get everything started, is you have the chance to get some of these kinks out. You have an opportunity, and especially here, some states take into consider, I'm from, Oregon, and so they take into consider those non-region games. But here in Utah, these non-region games are great to prepare you for region, but they have no bearing on the state playoffs.
Yeah, no, and it's a great opportunity. If I was a coach, my strategy would be to play an easy opponent in one of your first 3 non-region games. Maybe somebody that's comparable to you, and then maybe somebody that's, if you're a 4A school, maybe a 5A school that might be a little better than you, just so you can kind of see where your team is.
So Spanish Fork now will do the kickoff from the 20-yard line. Now, I believe they have the option of using the tee, no, it has to be the punt, doesn't it?
You have the option, I believe, but most teams choose to punt just because the ball's going to hang in the air a lot longer, and it's a big advantage for the.
Stanton puts a foot into it, a kind of a high kick over towards the sideline, and the ball's going to roll out of bounds. And so not a bad kick here. It's going to go out, and the flag comes in.
And it's a procedure penalty.
So we'll see. Almost if you're Mountain View, I'm assuming then they'll move it back if Mountain View wants a re-kick, which you have to kind of wonder here if you're Mountain View, if you might not take the re-kick.
Well, I think they'll get the ball at the 45 unless they go for the re-kick here. But I believe they do have the choice. Of course, the rules are different at every level of football.
So we'll see here. It doesn't look like Mountain View is really interested in the re-kick. It looks like they're just going to move the ball up here. As right now we're just waiting to sort this penalty out. 3:21 to go in the third quarter. 20-2. Spanish Fork leading Mountain View. Week 1 of the high school football season. Of course, the end goal is to be playing up at Rice-Eccles Stadium at the campus of the University of Utah in November for a 4A state championship. Would be the end goal here, and now they're going to send everybody back as they're going to march it off the illegal procedure penalty, and it's going to move the ball to the Spanish Fork 45-yard line. So a 15-yard procedure penalty there gives Mountain View really good field position.
Okay, so I've got to assume here that if you kick the ball out of bounds, they get the ball at the 30, and since it's 20 yards, well, I guess you'd get it at the 35, so since it's 20 yards, they're going to move it to the 45.
Shotgun set for Sam. Holland goes in motion. Sam's going to be on the keeper, tries to get outside, cuts it back in the middle, gets a couple to about the 43-yard line. So a good job there.
Helmet on the field. Also on Channel 16, if you're looking to find the Maple Mountain game, they're on there playing Woods Cross, and they've been up early in that ball game.
So an opportunity, Maple Mountain back at home next week for Corner Canyon. Spanish Fork back at home next week for the Orem Tigers.
We got you covered here on the Spanish Fork Community Network this season for all your high school football needs.
And, of course, these games also are going to be replayed on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/SpanishFork17. Ready to go. Sam's going to throw the screen. This is Holland out across the 45, lowers his head to the 41-yard line. And Spanish Fork's done a great job tonight, Chris. We haven't seen a lot of one-on-one tackling. We've seen a lot of the Dons getting 3 or 4 guys to the ball, and that makes it a lot easier as a defense to make those tackles.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of swarming to the ball. And that was another example of them swarming to the ball that time, even though it was more of a one-on-one tackle. But, man, that pass was actually more of a lateral. And every time I see that, that makes me really nervous because I've seen a lot of balls drop, especially in high school football. And it bounces the wrong way, and the other team's jetting off for a touchdown.
Have to watch, and a lot of times you see players just drop it and just think, oh, the play's over, and the other guy runs it. Ready to go. Being pressured now, being chased is Sam. He's got 3 Dons after him. Throws the pass incomplete over towards the sideline. It was going to be Colt Condi on the coverage, the junior cornerback, and now it's going to bring up 4th down. And have to wonder if you're Mountain View, at what point do you start thinking, hey, we might not have that many more chances with this kind of field position?
I think right now would be that time, but I looks like they're going to go ahead and punt. They're bringing in number 17 to punt as well. That's Terrell Garfield,
who's also their kicker. And so this is going to be interesting because you put the Spanish Fork return men back inside the standing right now at their own 10. Here's the punt, almost blocked. Funa had to make sure he got out of the way. Here's end over end kick, and it's Tanner Argyle who does the fair catch at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, so I think if you're Spanish Fork here, you probably got one possession, and then if you can score here, it'd be a great time to get some of those guys that have been sitting on the bench some playing time and try and avoid some injuries. So, I'm wondering if that's the strategy right now if you're Coach Jordan Smith, but I've been very impressed with his coaching debut here for Spanish Fork.
The Spanish Fork alum coming home to take over this Don football program, trying to help get the Spanish Fork Dons back to the state playoffs, a 6-6 season for Spanish Fork last year. Keisel's going to get this one knocked up in the air, and it's going to come down incomplete as trying to chase it down there was number 20. That's Ammon Brown from his defensive back spot.
Yeah, that was a great job by Morgan Martin. He realized he wasn't going to get to the quarterback, but coming in off the edge at his outside linebacker position, he went ahead and decided to bat that ball.
Do want to thank the Car Guys for sponsoring our Car Guys Instant Replay tonight here on Spanish Fork 17. MVP Sports, who sponsor the MVP of the game, which will be named at the conclusion of this broadcast. Stay tuned. Chris and I will wrap this one up here and then send it down, or back down, to Ken Money and Sam Higginson for their postgame wrap-up. They're going to take a shot deep. Got a man out there diving, but couldn't come up with it. Was Tanner Argyle, number 3. A great effort play, but unfortunately, a lot of times in athletics, Chris, we can't award points based off effort.
Yeah, we're not giving any participation trophies tonight, that's for sure. And that was just on the edge of Argyle. If he would have waited just a tenth of a second, that's all it takes, and Argyle could have got underneath it. But man, I've been very impressed with Kiesel's arm. He's looked very good, and he's a very athletic scrambler. He reminds me a lot of last year's quarterback, Money.
3rd down and 10 coming up. Big play for Spanish Fork, trying to flip some field position. Ready to go. Kiesel the throw, throws the quick route out on the corner on the curl. It's caught there by Higginson, but he's going to be about a yard or 2 short, and that's going to be 4th down and about 2, I think, coming up here. And Spanish Fork will look to send on the punt team.
And hopefully this time they don't snap the ball over the the punter's head. Let me say that again. So that's what we saw last time, and that's how Mountain View got their 2 points.
Kiesel does a nice job there. That's a good read. Unfortunately, as a receiver there, Kiesel gets that ball maybe out a little too quick. The low snap and getting away rugby style is Stanton. And now it's going to be a low line drive. Fair catch made there by Sam. Magalay Sam, number 1 with the fair catch. That's definitely something Spanish Fork can take away from tonight. They got to get that long snap figured out.
Yeah, that one was a little short. The other one was a little too long. So now I think they've got it calibrated. So now from now on it should be perfect, right?
You would think if you could find the average or something, that would be perfect. Ball sits on the 45-yard line here for Mountain View as the Bruins will start this drive. as Mountain View trying to get something, if anything, going to try to see what they can do here. Mountain View next week is going to be at home for West Jordan, and they're going to see Springville in 2 weeks.
That's a tough road for Mountain View. West Jordan, a 5A school known as a powerhouse at times.
Right up the middle, Sam's going to keep it. He's going to fight his way ahead and maybe get about 4 yards out to the 49-yard line. And with 32 seconds to go in the third, that clock's going to continue to run.
And we've seen some new faces on that defensive line as they're starting to rotate some guys through here tonight. But I think that's just been the key to this defense, is they've been disrupting the Mountain View's offensive line, where if you read their preview, that's all they talked about. That was going to be the strength of the team, and the Dons have definitely destroyed them tonight.
You know, and one of the other things is Trevor Robertson, a wide receiver, was another one that they said, hey, this guy can make some plays, and he's been quiet tonight.
Who?
Flags fly. No. Flags fly there, and that's going to be probably, it looks like, a procedure penalty against Mountain View. And this is where that fatigue starts to come in, maybe that lack of discipline that you talked about, Chris, earlier in the ballgame. This is an offense that we forget. The Spanish Fork, when they've had the ball, it's been quick, either 3 and outs or let's get down the field and score. So the offensive defense has spent a lot of time out on the field tonight for Mountain View.
And that will be the last play of the quarter, I believe. There's no time on the clock, but
I don't think they can't end a half on a penalty.
I thought it was a defensive penalty, though.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But
yeah, I guess
looks like we're going to have a one play here to end the third quarter. I thought it was a defensive penalty too, but
we're going with the Canadian untimed down rule now.
Shotgun set for Sam. He's going to step back and throw. Looks out in the flat. That one knocked it out. There's going to be flags coming in, as it was Nate Mattis coming in, and he just got all over the back there of Ammon Brown and gets there early. Now, this is a defensive penalty, so I think we're going to have another play here at the end of the third.
Our second untimed down here. Clock operator just went, got him a drink now, I believe, so we can continue it on.
Has an opportunity to catch some rest here, as it's been a nice night for the first week of high school football. Maybe about 10 degrees too warm for what you would like to see, but at the end of the day, a nice night for football. A complete contrast to what we had here. They just said over the PA system here that they believe it's the end of the third quarter, and everyone's on the field for one final play. Ready to go. Sam ready to go with 4 wide receivers. Steps back to throw. Has some time. He's going to look out in the flat. That one thrown behind his receiver, but it looks like
he caught it.
Morgan Martin made the catch, and that's going to end the third quarter. That's a nice catch for that ball being kind of thrown low and behind him. He's somehow able to come up with it.
Well, we saw a safety and a touchdown, or safety for the Bruins and a touchdown for the Dons, and so Dons will lead 20-2 here at the end of the third quarter.
At the end of the third quarter here on Spanish Fork 17, Spanish Fork 20, Mountain View 2. This is how the third quarter ended. A great catch there by Morgan Martin, and the Bruins have some work to do as we start the fourth quarter here on Spanish Fork 17.
Hey, do you know someone who needs cheering up? This design is a cheerful arrangement of hot pink carnations, lime green spider mums, pink alstroemeria, and purple accent flowers with a mixed green base. This is a cheerful arrangement for any occasion. This design is a topiary of alstroemeria in orange and yellow with cute Gerbera daisies and a mixed green base.
Carrie's Designs Floral is located at 245 South Main in Spanish Fork.
Start of the fourth quarter here on Spanish Fork 17. As we take a look here, we want to thank our sponsors, the Car Guys, for sponsoring our Car Guys Instant Replay. Lance Wilson from State Farm Insurance and MVP Sports, who sponsor the MVP of the game. And I should say the Lance Wilson State Farm Assist of the game, which we'll be kind of looking at here as we wind down the final 12 minutes, the final quarter of the first game of the high school sports season. And Sam ready to go under center. He's going to take it. He's going to be chased down and stopped from behind as Joseph Chirillo got there from behind. And that's going to bring up 3rd and about 4 coming up for Mountain View.
I think we're going to give the State Farm assist of the game to the defensive end or the defensive line, because they've definitely assisted the Bruins to the ground tonight.
And that's also assisted that offense to be able to come back and get the ball and be able to find a way to score. You talk about for Mountain View, it's a 3-score game. Do you have enough time? You definitely got to get a score on this drive, though.
They need to get a score on this drive, and they need to get a couple stops. There's enough time, but I haven't seen anything that would lead me to believe that they can do it.
Option play, Sam on the keeper. He's going to get the first down. Gets to about the 29-yard line. And Mountain View, for the first time tonight, kind of putting something together. We haven't really seen them put a good drive together throughout this night.
Well, they had one good drive, and it ended with that fumble in the end zone, and it all started with good field position, and once again, they got good field position. So, it seems like when they get that good field position, you're a lot closer, but they've definitely had a lot of 3-and-outs in bad field position, and that's why they've lost the field position battle tonight, if that makes any sense.
Joseph Trujillo pulling him in from behind there to bring him down here. So that was a nice job. That defensive line's been all over the place. They've been able to put pressure on the quarterback, be able to chase him down throughout the night. 1st and 10 for Mountain View, ball in the 29. Sam back to throw, throws the slant, gets it in there and out of the hands there of the intended receiver. That was Trevor Robertson on the slant.
Yeah, Trevor Robertson got the ball separated that time, as Funa, the outside linebacker, actually, instead of blitzing, dropped back into coverage and separated the ball from the receiver, and that's what you're taught as a defender, so great job by Funa that time.
I took a look at it the second time, Chris, and I think it was number 2, Mahanri Follow, but the ball just kind of went in and out of his hands there. I don't know. That 2 and 7 for Mountain View sometimes can be kind of hard to tell.
I'm not going to lie to you. Those are some of the hardest jerseys I've seen. Maple Mountain, it's something about the maroon jerseys are just hard to see the numbers.
There's the pitch outside of Jake Holland on the option. A nice job by number 30, Jess Barkley, to get there and pull down Holland, but Holland's going to rumble down to around the 24-yard line, pick up about 5. So puts a Mountain View here in a very manageable 3rd down and about 5.
Yeah, and they're going to need to score 3 times, obviously, because they're down 18. But if you're the Dons, you got to just get one more stop here, and I think you can go back to Spanish Fork with a victory. If you're Mountain View, you just got to keep grinding out here, see if they can't get some points, but it's definitely 4-down territory until you get into field goal range.
And this is a situation, if you're Mountain View, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, you want to take some positives out of this one. You don't want to have, even if you're Spanish Fork, you don't want to have the final 10 minutes just go down the drain and take all the positives away and turn those into negatives.
That's very true.
Back to throw. Sam being pressured from behind. He's going to try to run away. He will. Gets to the 20, to the 15, down to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Mountain View, as it's Malagali Sam running it in from about 25 yards out, and the first offensive touchdown of the year for the Mountain View Bruins.
Great job by Sam getting to the outside that time and finding a crease and turning it upfield and using his speed to get in the end zone. Great job by him getting away from all those defenders. And Spanish Fork needs to step up on the contain there, and some of those guys in the secondary need to realize, oh, he's running upfield, I need to get off my defender. But give all the credit to Sam that he's a terrific athlete who's been battling hard all night long.
He definitely has not given up for this Mountain View team, who now, pending the extra point, it will be a 2-score ball game. On to kick the extra point, number 11, McKay Waite, it looks like.
And he was out earlier with a cramp, so it's good to see him back on the field. He got that stretched out, got some Gatorade in him most likely. And
snap down, kick is up, and it is through the uprights. And so a very good there touchdown if you are right there. If you are Mountain View, you get something going here and have an opportunity here to see if you can get something to kind of go in the positive direction, as it's 20-9, I should say, with a 2-score. So it's still a 2-score game. If you're Mountain View, you would have to get in the end zone, get the 2-point conversion, then find a way to score again. But your defense has to find a way to stop Spanish Fork.
Yeah, they've got to find a way, but Spanish Fork, that first quarter, they looked pretty fantastic. They had a couple of mental errors, stop them from scoring a couple times. But after that first quarter, they've kind of, been stuck in almost neutral. Well, they'll have a good play here and there. They'll pick up a first down, but they're not consistently picking up those first downs, and that's something they need to do. And maybe that's just play calling, execution, but they got to kind of figure that out on this drive and see if they can't get a few plays. And if I was Coach Jordan Smith, I would tell Funa to run hard, but to hold on to the ball and see if they can't just wear out Mountain View. Mountain View's got to be tired at this point in the game.
A lot of those defensive linemen for Mountain View play the offensive line as well, and so we talked about it earlier. The numbers for Mountain View, looking down on that sideline, there's not a lot of extra players, and so it puts them in a position where they really have to use what they have all over the place, all over the field.
Yeah, that's very true. Very good point there, Ryan.
So
I'm too old, so I don't know how it would be to play two ways, but man, that's got to wear on you, especially in this heat.
9:39 to go, fourth quarter, and the kick is underway. It's going to be a deep kick, and it's going to go to about the 5-yard line. Coming out across the 20, out to the 25-yard line. Getting outside, and here's Salili as he gets out across the 40 to the 45, 50, and he's going to be dragged down as inside Mountain View territory, and not what the Bruins wanted, but a situation where you can kind of tell Bruins are getting tired on that return.
Yeah, they're getting tired, and Spanish Fork it was Salili that time, best I can pronounce it. Just showed a quick burst of speed that time to get to the outside, and Spanish Fork's got a lot more depth than Mountain View, and I think that's what's going to keep Mountain View from making any sort of comeback.
And this is a big situation here because there's 9 minutes left. If Spanish Fork really gets, we haven't seen much maybe of that option run with Kiesel, but with the game he's had, wouldn't be surprised he keeps it here. Here's a pitch and the ball comes free. Williams being chased. Kiesel throws a nice block. Somehow, Williams still on his feet across the 50 to the 45. It's a foot race. To the 30, to the 20, to the 15, the 10, 5, touchdown. But there's a flag, and this one's coming back.
Great effort by Williams. Great run, great blocking. Unfortunately, there was a hold, and it's all for naught, and they'll come way back, especially if it's a spot penalty, because the hold happened about the 40. I saw it, and I can't believe Williams got positive yards out of there, but once he broke contain, he's a quick young man, and he got into the end zone.
Block in the back indicated against Spanish Fork, and that's a situation where if you're Coach Jordan Smith, you can't be happy with the execution on the run because
I think it's Kiesel that does it. We'll have to see, but go ahead.
So you get Jordan Smith there. Coach Jordan Smith can't be happy with that because your running back drops the ball first, then he makes the big play, but then your quarterback sets a block, but in this case it's in the back.
Yeah, how many times does your quarterback throw a block in the back? And now we've got second down and I think to Miami.
Miami might be a little bit far, Chris. Let's just say, I don't know, Oklahoma.
That's probably more realistic.
It's going to be 1st and 30.
1st and 30. That is they should just make that from the line of scrimmage because that really puts a team at a disadvantage. It's a spot foul.
It's a spot foul, and since it happened behind the line of scrimmage then.
Yeah, it happened about the 41, 42-yard line where Kiesel threw that block in the back. But
so then they move it 10 yards back from there. I was trying to think how they got to the 30, and I'm like, oh, wait a second, spot foul.
So
there's a lot of moments, Chris. I'm so glad you're here sometimes to keep me straight as we go throughout these games. I'm always glad to have you here, I should say.
I appreciate being with you as well, Ryan. I just want to know what play call you call on 1st and 30.
A deep pass as Kiesel's going to step away, look down the field, and throws that one incomplete. Looks like in and out of the hands there of Brady Christensen.
Looks like Mountain View could use a few more lights in this stadium as I see a couple of them around. It's kind of hard. There's some dark spots, either that or I need to get a new prescription for my glasses. But, yeah, I'm wondering if they're having the same problem down there on the field.
Brayden Christensen's had one of those tough games. He's had, I think 3 balls thrown right at him that have just hit him in the hands and dropped, or he just hasn't been able to come up with for Spanish Fork. And so, not the best night for Brayden Christensen. But Spanish Fork set ready to go on 2nd and 30. Looking to get something here. Kiesel takes the direct snap, gets outside 35-40. He's going to be ushered out of bounds, shoved kind of late, and the flag comes in.
And that will most likely, I think it's on Mountain View, personal foul. So I think that'll give Spanish Fork an automatic first down, and that's huge. Mountain View had him pinned deep. I mean, it was 2nd and Oklahoma.
And so now, I mean, the dangers of that, and that's probably a multiple thing. That's probably a frustration thing on Mountain View's side a little bit as well. But you have to have that awareness to know where you're at on the field and when to just let the guy go.
Yep, exactly.
Kiesel had nowhere to go but out of bounds.
You got to know the time, the place, and the situation. And that's huge.
Personal foul, and that's going to be third down. So it won't be an automatic first, but it's going to be third and something. It's going to be third and about 4.
Third and about 4 from second and 30.
And so just one of those penalties there, as we'll see on the Car Guys instant replay. If you're Sam, you have to understand, here's where the sideline is. I can just chase him out of bounds.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, Mountain View scored on that last possession, so if he just lets him go out of bounds, then they go ahead and can continue this comeback opportunity. Instead, Spanish Fork calls a timeout here. This is a critical third down, and they just want to get the right play set. What you thinking, pass or run, Ryan?
I would really, you think of it with Funa in the backfield, and you got your quarterback that's had a great night rushing, over 100 yards rushing on the night for their quarterback unofficially. I think maybe a kind of an option play or something like that where you kind of see, I mean, you could maybe do a short curl, but with the way your receivers have been at times tonight for Spanish Fork, where they've had a hard time holding on, I think you got to run the ball here.
Yeah, well, and they've ran Isaac Pendleton on that little 7-yard hitch in the first quarter, and Mountain View was playing so far off, but that is actually a pretty good option. But I'm with you. I think I'd go run here, safety first, and try and just pick up the first down on the ground instead of possibly having a pick six on a slant or maybe a hitch route. Sometimes you got to go beast mode, as the Seattle Seahawks found out.
That's for sure. And when you're third and goal from the 1, probably not the time to throw the ball, as the Seattle Seahawks found out during the Super Bowl. So we'll see here what Spanish Fork draws up. It looks like they might be going with just a straight quarterback keeper. Kiesel from the pistol formation, and flags fly. And this could be a procedure call, and if that is, that's not what you want if you're the Dons.
So it'll be about 3rd and 9. This has been a weird sequence of events. It seems like this 1st and 10 that turned out to be a 1st and 30, 2nd and 30. Seems like this sequence of events has been going on all night long. So another penalty makes it 3rd and 9 here.
I do want to correct something, Chris. The Pleasant Grove Corner Canyon score that I reported earlier wasn't right. They're still in the middle of the 3rd quarter there, or early 4th quarter. Pleasant Grove 21, Corner Canyon 19. So I just want to correct that as well for all of our viewers at home. Corner Canyon visits Maple Mountain next weekend. Ready to go here on 3rd and 9. Ready to throw. Kiesel steps back. Pressured away, rolls away from the right. He's going to go down the field. Got a man out there, but overthrew his man. That goes incomplete. Trying to hit Higginson. Boy, another couple yards on the field, and that's a first down.
Yeah, but those deep passes, they're high reward, but they're also low probability of completing those passes. It's very difficult to throw, especially when you're on the run. But, man, look at the arm strength Kiesel has as he was able to run out on the side and just launch that thing down the field. And they've connected on a couple of those tonight.
If you could get Kiesel maybe a little more accurate, get the receivers to hold on to some of those games or some of those passes tonight, it might be a couple more scores on the board here. The running style pump by Stanton goes deep. Mountain View is going to let it bounce, and it's going to roll out of bounds right around looks like it's going to be officially around the 13-yard line. They're going to walk back even far inside the 10.
Wow, I thought he might just want to take off on that. Stanton had a lane down on the side, and he just putted on down until he took that punt. That's Mountain View with the rugby-style punters has to get some pressure on there because that's always an option.
And especially you got a guy in Stanton who we've seen of return kicks tonight. You know he's got some speed. So definitely something you want to maybe leave in the playbook, too, if you're Coach Jordan Smith for a key moment of one of your games coming up, where if you have an option like that, maybe Stanton takes that down the sideline.
And Arkansas's punter was from Australia last year, and he took one of those 80 yards. I don't remember if you saw that highlight on SportsCenter, but that was, I mean, that's one of the abilities when you run your punter out there on that little curl to punt. If nobody covers it, he can go.
It's not often you're going to see here, and it's kind of interesting here as it looks like we have a timeout.
Will go onto the field. We ask our friends from Spanish Fork to exit at the northwest corner.
As all of a sudden here they're announcing, letting everybody know here what exits to exit through.
I thought they were telling us all to go home.
That's
there
what
for
I thought.
a
I
minute.
was like, I just kind of stopped there for a second, especially when they made that announcement right as both teams start to head off the field. But we had a timeout on the play. Kind of an interesting time to call a timeout coming out of that huddle like that. Not typically a time if you're a head coach you want to call a timeout.
Well, and they might argue if something's not set right, there's not a bad time to call a timeout. It's better than giving up points or having a big loss. I'm not even sure who called that timeout.
I believe it was Mountain View, but an opportunity here. If you're Mountain View with 8:43 to go, you're still in this ball game. I guess if you have the wrong play call or the wrong formation, Chris, like you said, last thing you want to do is turn the ball over inside your own 10.
Exactly, and I think it's critical you get the right play here if you're Mountain View. So maybe, especially when you're down on your own 5 or 6 yard line there.
Sam with 5 wide, looking maybe for a keeper. He's going to throw. And the pass is dropped in and out of the hands there of number 10. That's Morgan Martin. Yeah, and that's one where it's tough because it's right in your hands, but you have to get out from inside that 10.
Yeah, and that was a great job by Tuka Fua to come up and lay the wood there that time. But, man, great job by Spanish Fork's defensive line assisting Sam to the ground that time right after he threw the ball.
So an opportunity here for Spanish Fork, 8:39 to go. The Dons trying to see if they can hold Mountain View back and maybe get the ball back. Well, hopefully get the ball back here with 8:39 to go. But get that ball back and put one in the end zone to really solidify this opening week win. From the shotgun, ready to go. Man goes in motion. That's Martin across the field. Sam from shotgun, and flags fly as the snap comes, and not what you want if you're Mountain View as a procedure call here.
Yeah, it seems like the refs must be getting paid here in the fourth quarter by penalty flags because there has been a lot. Is that a substitution infraction?
Yeah, it looks like it was a substitution infraction, which now pushes them back to their own 2 yard line. So now offensively here, you can't take a sack or an opportunity here to lose yardage if you're the quarterback, Sam, here, and at times tonight he's lost a lot of yardage.
And you're going to see the Dons blitzing off the edge with both Funas.
Ready to go. Pressure comes, being chased, and getting away from it at the 5. Gets out across the 10 to the 12 is Magale Sam as being chased. Both Funas coming off the end, and I thought that Mace Funa was going to get him there for a second.
I did too. I thought the freshman was going to get a safety there, but instead, great job by Joseph Trujillo, something like that, coming up and making sure he doesn't get any further down the field and bringing up a big third down.
Trujillo doing a good job getting there from his defensive end spot tonight. 8:04, of course. Chris and I do thank everyone for the patience, getting used to the Spanish Fork team and things like that. So we really do appreciate the patience for mispronunciation of names and things like that as we go throughout this opening week broadcast. Ready to go. Being pressured this time is Sam from behind, and he's going to be ushered out of bounds. Chasing him down. This is a Spanish Fork team that's got some very good speed. It looks like it was Tobiasen who was chasing him down from behind.
Yeah, Tobiasen moonlights as a center in the winter, but man, he's a big athletic kid. He's 6'8", got long arms, built like a tank. So that's going to be a great asset for Coach Jordan Smith this year, and I think that might be the strength of this team is the outside linebackers and the defensive line.
4th and 7. Sam's going to have to come in to punt. He's going to stand back from about 5 yards deep here. Ready to go. A good snap, and they get the punt away. End over end kick going back. It's going to be Stanton, who looks like he bobbled it but picks it right back up at the 40 inside of the 35. He's going to get down to about the 33, but there's a flag that comes in late. Now the question's going to be, Chris, who's that going to go against?
That was a legal block by Spanish Fork. I think it might have been Argyle coming up to block on that punt where he just laid into him. I think it might have been a block in the back as the guy went past him.
Yeah, it looks like the official just went down and put his hand down by his knees.
Chop block, he hit him below the knees.
Is being assessed against Spanish Fork.
And so that's going to push the Dons back here a little bit with 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. 20-9 in favor of Spanish Fork. Ready to go here, looking to try to see what they can do. As you got to think, Chris, a touchdown here will put this game away for Spanish Fork.
Yeah, and they start exactly at midfield, and they've done that all game long. That's been an awesome place for them to start. We're starting to get some groupies in here, Ryan, as well.
Shotgun set for Kiesel, ready to go. He's going to pitch it outside. Once again, that's going to be Heredia turning the corner. He's going to get maybe about 5 yards. He's tackled hard out of bounds, though. As one thing Mountain View's done that's been really good, they've continued to play through this game. They have a lot to play for here with 6.5 minutes, almost 6.5 to go.
Yeah, they need to stop here soon if they want to win this game. But if you're Spanish Fork, you can put another nail in that coffin if you can get another score here. So this is a critical possession for both teams. Is actually almost every possession in football seems to be critical.
Spanish Fork could do two things. They could go down the field here and try to score, or they could try to eat up some clock. We'll see how Jordan Smith wants to play this. Shotgun set, they're going to throw it off into the flat. That's complete, and falling to the ground there was number 35, Nua Tuati, getting there and just kind of going right down to a knee. And so definitely no doubt here is an opportunity here with 6 minutes to go. Tuati right there on the tackle. Tuata on the tackle.
We've been told.
Okay, there we go. Well, we're going to try to continue to get all these names right here.
You guys hang around here so you can help us with these names. He's your cousin?
So 5:42 to go, fourth quarter, 20-9 in favor of Spanish Fork. A shotgun set here coming for the quarterback, who right now sits to be Nate Kiesel. Kiesel ready to go, gives it right off. Lowering the head is that Funa back in the game. Number 47, Lofa Funa, who was supposed to get a lot of the carries for the Spanish Fork team throughout the season. We've seen a multiple combination group tonight for Spanish Fork, but you have to think here, if you're Spanish Fork, you're going to bring in Funa, who's a little bit bigger back, to try to see if you can't wear down Mountain View defensively.
Yeah, he's definitely a load to come down, and he loves the contact of the game. He gets in there and he just pounds those linebackers trying to bring him down, and that's got to wear on this Mountain View team.
Right now, 21-12, Maple Mountain, 6:41 to go. So the Golden Eagles right now, if they can hold still, they can find a way to get this win on the road.
That surprises me. That's an upset in my mind, but wow.
Woods Cross was a team that lost a lot off last year's team, as Nate Kiesel's able to keep it, gets down to the 30, but Woods Cross going to be a team that's going to rely heavily, Chris, on Brandon Gunther, or Braxton Gunther, their running back from last year. Anyway, we're here at Spanish Fork, so we don't need to talk about Maple Mountain Woods Cross a ton.
Back to the ranch. Kiesel got a big gain up the middle there.
So Kiesel able to get it going with under 5 minutes to go, 4:34 to go. And Spanish Fork really using some clock here. Kiesel ready to go here from shotgun. Ready to go, pulls it back, right up the middle. Here's Kiesel. Down to the 20 to the 25.
He fumbled, it looked like.
Ball comes loose, trying to see her, but looks like Kiesel, though, fell right back on the ball. He's maybe a tad slow to get up here at first, but
good heads-up play by Kiesel getting on that ball. I don't know. They didn't throw the beanbag out, so I assume that they called him down. We'll go with that.
But most importantly here for Spanish Fork is that clock just continuing to tick.
Fumble. You know what's interesting is it seems like in high school sports anymore, you need a quarterback that can not only run but can throw as well. You need that dual threat. That's the way this sport's going.
Well, there's it seems like a lot of emphasis now on the Marcus Mariota type quarterback out of Oregon that can do a little bit of everything. Ready to throw, going deep, got a man out there. And did he haul it in? Yes, he did. Touchdown. That is Jackson Higginson. And that will pretty much, with 3:28 to go, should put it away for Spanish Fork.
Yeah, Jackson Higginson, they must think highly of him going deep, and that is the second or third big pass he's caught deep from Kiesel, who's making I think right now Kiesel's my early sports MVP player of the game tonight. Another great touchdown pass. As Kiesel's ran one in, and he's thrown 3 tonight.
So now the extra point up on its way, and it is good. And with 3:28 to go, Spanish Fork takes the lead 27-9 here at Mountain View. as right now just trying to really put this one away, and a good opportunity here with a late fourth quarter touchdown.
Yeah, the fat lady is starting to sing. I think she's starting to warm up here a little bit as we're able to, as Jackson Higginson's able to haul that pass in. So
right there, a big touchdown pass there, as we right now are trying to we appreciate our visitors coming in, but we also need to try to make sure we have room here in the boxes. And right now it's 27-9 in favor of Spanish Fork. And a good opportunity here, Chris, for Spanish Fork. Now, that's a great opportunity to bring those starters off the field, and now you have an opportunity to put maybe those second-team guys in and try to see what they can do.
I agree wholly with you there. I thought you were going to talk about my security skills there for
Although,
a second.
I will say, those are really good. We had, I don't know how many, probably 10 kids here coming in just watching the game on the monitor with us, and it was just getting a little crowded for us here in the box, so we had to kind of let those kids go on and have a good night, but we appreciate the visits here. As with 3:28 to go, Spanish Fork will put a foot into it.
Yeah, no, but you're right. This is a great opportunity, even for Mountain View, to get some of those kids in there that won't be playing a lot on varsity and see what they have. Maybe you can find a hidden gem out there that maybe you haven't noticed in practice but really shows up for game day.
So overall right now, looking to be a very good night for the city of Spanish Fork. Low line drive kick, running up, the ball comes loose, and I don't know, but I think there's a chance Spanish Fork came away with that. The whistles blow, and we'll see here who came away with the ball. It looks like Mountain View is going to come away with it.
I believe that was 2-8 that was flying down the field. Man, he wanted that ball big time, but number 2 was able, Falua was able to jump on the ball.
And he just came, as we see on the Car Guys instant replay, he's just flying and then just slides head on into him, kind of like a collision at home plate between two guys just sliding at the same time. So kind of an interesting play there, but 3:22 to go. Mountain View needs to try to get something going quick. Have to wonder, though, if it's a little too late, as Sam will be from shotgun here.
Sam's got some wills. I wouldn't ever count him out, but I think it's just too much to overcome.
Ready to throw. There's Trevor Robertson. That's number 2 again. That's Follow making the catch. He's brought down after a gain of about a couple.
Yeah, I think if you're Spanish Fork in your offense, you need a little more consistency. You need some longer drives, because it seems like here in the second half that the defense has been on the field a little bit too long. And they're starting to wear down. You're starting to see some gaps, but we also have some new guys in there as well. But man, I've been impressed with this Spanish Fork defense. I think they're going to be what keeps Spanish Fork in every game this season.
And you think of it, if the offense can contribute like they have tonight, maybe a little more effectively, this is a team that can put up a lot of points pretty quick. Pressure comes. Sam's going to be chased from behind. Funa dives, can't come up with it, and a nice try there by Jess Barkley coming up to hit him, but he wasn't able to make the tackle, but then 2 of his teammates were right there.
Yeah, great swarm. They're like the bees out there, just swarming to the ball, try and get them down on defense. I've been very impressed with Jordan Smith's ability to coach this defense to get them to swarm to the ball.
Tino Leilula in there on the tackle, the sophomore. And that's one of these interesting things looking down the Spanish Fork roster, Chris. There's a few seniors in there, but there's a lot of sophomores and a lot of juniors, which gives Jordan Smith a lot to work with for the future.
Yeah, Tino Leilula is just a sophomore as well. Holy
cow.
That
one thrown out, intercepted, and this one's going to be returned by Funa, as right there, that one was just thrown, and Lofa Funa was just right there to make the catch, and he returns it inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line. And so Spanish Fork here with 1:48, you would think would just keep it on the ground, but a touchdown here will put it away.
Yeah, well, they've got this thing won. Now you just don't need to do anything stupid.
Lofa Funa a little slow coming off the field here, being kind of helped off by Jess Barkley. So that is something definitely to kind of take a look at here. Not maybe anything too serious, but just one of those things, hey, let's just get you off the field here safely.
Yeah, probably won't see too many of the starters. It looks like we've emptied the bench for the most part.
Kiesel in there, a quarterback, gives it right up the middle, and lowering his shoulder there is number 31 at Mateen Lomax. And Lomax going to get down to about the 18-yard line. So an opportunity here. Some, would continue to run their offense, but right now you can just kind of let that clock tick here as we have 90 seconds left to play, and what should be a Spanish Fork win here week 1. And this is going to build a lot of momentum heading into next week when you get ready to play Orem.
Yeah, I think Orem's going to be a lot tougher battle. They got to clean up some of these penalties. They've had a lot of turnovers. So I think those are the two key emphasis that Coach Smith should look at during this next week of practice.
Lomax with the carry gets inside the 10, down to the 7 with 1:04 to go. And so now you have to kind of get to the point where probably a good chance you're going to see them just take a knee.
Man, this is exciting, Spanish Fork football with all these sophomores, juniors, and then you mix in the talented seniors. This is going to be a good season, but man, they're going to have possibly a good 2 or 3 year run here in Region 8.
Which is, when Spanish Fork is at that 3A level, Chris, they were a staple competing for the state title. They won a couple as well, and they want to try to build that program back up. You still have to eventually get through Timpview, though, probably to win the state title.
Yeah, to win the state title. They made it and played Dixie in the championship game and ended up losing that. But that was the first appearance in, I believe they've been playing football for 95 years at Spanish Fork. So they've been there. They've gotten a taste of it. Some of the I believe Jason Money was a sophomore that year. They made it to the state championship game when he was a freshman.
So an opportunity here, building this program definitely in this tough region as well. I mean, some exciting games coming up here, but one thing you have to do if you're Spanish Fork is looks like we might see the victory formation here with 10 seconds to play, and it looks like we will, as going under center, maybe for the first time tonight, is Nate Kiesel. And he will turn, take a knee, and the clock will hit 000, and the Spanish Fork Dons have come out victorious 27-9 over the Mountain View Bruins. And Chris, here, we'll just take the next couple of minutes to wrap it up, and then we'll send it down to Ken Money and Sam Higginson for their wrap-up. But Chris, when you take a look at this from the offensive side, everyone kind of wondered, can Nate Kiesel hold up to the hype? Had this great summer, this great spring. Now he has an opportunity to step in, game start for real. And I don't know about you, but for me, he definitely lived up to the hype.
Yes, the answer is yes. I think the key is he's got to be a little more consistent. There were a couple stretches where he struggled a little bit, but he's a super athletic runner. I wasn't expecting so much out of him athletically. I'd heard he was quite the passer. So I was impressed with both his arm and his legs. He's definitely a dual-threat quarterback, and I think we need to give him our MVP Sports MVP Player of the Game.
And so definitely an opportunity, MVP Sports MVP of the game going to the new quarterback, Nate Kiesel. Defensively, though, defensively, Spanish Fork did a very great job of making sure that they were able to contain Sam for the most part. Talented players like Sam are going to get their yards, but it's containing them, making sure they don't make many big plays.
Yeah, and I think the key was getting a lot of penetration from the defensive line and the outside linebackers firing in there and blitzing the quarterback, and that's why we have to change the name of the city to the Sac Fork City. And they also, I'm going to give our defensive line there the Lance Wilson assist of the game. And then we also had great replays tonight from the car guys. There's our 3 sponsors that we got in, and I think we're getting ready to send you down to Ken Money and was it Sam Higginson?
Yeah, and so we'll wrap it up here. A great opening week win for the Spanish Fork Dons. The Dons back at home next weekend for the home opener. The Orem Tigers will come into town as well. Just a reminder, that Maple Mountain game finishing up on Channel 16. Last time we heard the Golden Eagles in control of that one, as right now both Spanish Fork schools looking to go 1-0 here in the first week of the high school sports season. But tonight, the Spanish Fork Dons come out victorious. Our final score here from Mountain View High School, it is the Spanish Fork Dons 27, the Mountain View Bruins 9. For my partner in the booth, Chris Hurst, I'm Ryan Pickens signing off until the postgame show. We'll now send it over to our good friends and colleagues here at Spanish Fork 17, Ken Money and Sam Higginson. Guys, take it away after the break here on Spanish Fork 17.
The story of MMF really begins on 9/11. That's when Marine Corps Systems Command asked a very important question of a group of doctors and research scientists. Is it possible to protect our men and women in uniform from the inside out? We do a great job at protecting our troops from bombs and bullets, but what about from all of those invisible threats that cause our men and women in uniform to be 4 times more likely to contract illness and disease? organizations and skilled people working together ultimately availed us the creation of a supplement that in fact and indeed does protect the human body from the inside out. So when we discovered this, when we learned of MMF, learned of its existence, and learned what it does, we knew absolutely that we had something very special.
Auto, home, commercial, and so much more.
We had a devastating fire. I called Tim at 4 a.m. and he came over and American Family Insurance took care of everything.
We suffered water damage in our home. Tim and American Family Insurance took care of everything.
American Family Insurance is rated #1 in new policy purchase experience.
Let my family help your family. Save money on your insurance needs.
American Family Insurance.
Here at Drockton & Bullion & Coin, we are here for all of your gold and silver needs. We sell silver rounds, highest quality, highest purity, and you don't have to worry about whether they're certified because they are. We also sell collectible gold coins, gold bullion, Morgan silver dollars, our specialty silver rounds like this baseball. Everything you can think about is available through Drockton Bullion & Coin right here in Spanish Fork.
My name is Karma Karsten, the owner of Maple Creek Home Health and Hospice. I've been a nurse for over 30 years and provided hospice care to patients and their families in Utah County as well as Salt Lake County.
I'm Loretta Williams, and this is my mother. If it wasn't for Karma, I don't know where we'd be.
Anyone that comes my way, I've already told them they should see Karma.
If you or a loved one are facing a terminal illness, give us a call or visit our website.
Fresh cut lettuce, perfectly sized vegetables, all the things you need for a fine salad. Fresh baked breads and pastries, cinnamon rolls to drool for, home-styled sandwiches that will please any appetite. Is this some new gourmet restaurant in town? Nope, it's all right here at the Dugout. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, the Dugout hits a home run. The Dugout, located next to the ballpark and the fairgrounds in Spanish Fork.
Auto, home, commercial, and so much more.
Both my car and my home are covered by American Family, and I love the savings.
I couldn't be happier with the way I've been treated by Tim and American Family Insurance. I'm not just a number, I'm Jack.
Tim Shanto in Spanish Fork has received the Distinguished Agency Award for the past 7 years for his level of customer service.
Let my family help your family. Save money on your insurance needs.
American Family Insurance.
Hey, welcome to our postgame live show here in Bruin Field in Mountain View, where the Dons just defeated Mountain View by a score of 27-9. For those of you that were joining us or that are joining us now from Channel 16, we apologize. I guess apparently that feed is down. They're working through it right now. They're working as hard as they can to get it back up so you guys can get to the postgame over at the Maple Mountain Woods Cross game. But right here in Mountain View High School here in Orem, Utah, the Dons with a huge victory over Mountain View. Kind of a sloppy game, kind of a tough start, I guess, offensively. There was some good things, there were some bad things, but pretty much this is what you would expect from a first game. This is a new quarterback, a whole new group of wide receivers, a new running back, several new people on the offensive line, 7 new guys on the offensive line, just getting their feet wet. So there's a lot of things that I think that Coach Condi is going to sit down and look at film. Coach Smith, they're going to look at the film this weekend, and they're going to make some adjustments to try to sharpen things up and polish things up. Timing was definitely an issue on a few plays tonight, but overall the Dons were able to get it done and get the victory 27-9. Defensively for the Dons, I thought the Dons looked fantastic. Salofa Funa was just an absolute animal out there, chasing the quarterbacks and running backs, the wide receivers all over the field, had a big pick right there at the end of the game. So I think that overall, defensively, we looked really sharp. The secondary stepped up in a really big way, basically a brand new secondary, entirely new secondary, and they really did a great job tonight of stepping it up. Also felt like the defensive line was just a force all night long. The linebackers played sound football, and so from a defensive perspective, I think that they're going to look at the film. There's certainly things that they can polish up, certainly things they can get better at, but overall I think they're going to come away from this game pretty happy with the defensive play. From a special team standpoint, we had the one snap ball over the head of the receiver, or the punter, which cost us our first 2 points, and through the shutout. We also had some costly penalties. So we've got to sharpen ourselves up on the penalty side of things. We've also got to sharpen up a little bit on special teams. I thought Tanner Argyle returned punts extremely well, had a few fair catches, but also did a really good job of fielding some punts and getting us some positive yards. I thought Leo on the kick return side did a great job of getting us positive yardage and doing some things that he needed to do. So overall, again, folks, for those of you that were on watching Spanish Fork 16 on Channel 16, they are doing everything they can to get that back up and running so we can get you to the post-game show over there. But right here in Mountain View High School, the Dons coming away with a big victory. I know that Coach Jordan Smith, his very first game as a coach, coming away with a victory. He's got to feel pretty good about himself, but also an opportunity to get better. So from here in Mountain View High School, I'm Sam Higginson, and you've watched the post-game show here on Spanish Fork 17.
Here at Drockton & Bullion & Coin, we are here for all of your gold and silver needs. We sell silver rounds, highest quality, highest purity, and you don't have to worry about whether they're certified because they are. We also sell collectible gold coins, gold bullion, Morgan silver dollars, our specialty silver rounds like this baseball. Everything you could think about is available through Drockton Bullion & Coin right here in Spanish Fork.
My name is Karma Karsten, the owner of Maple Creek Home Health and Hospice. Maple Creek provides care for those facing a life-limiting illness in the comfort of their own home. Assessing someone's situation and their specific disease and the medications that's required takes experience. We at Maple Creek have that experience. Medicare pays 100% for